Chris.
Hello.
Thank you
Good
for coming
morning.
on.
Yes. Thanks for coming to my office.
Thank you for coming. So I was here last week. I came into the place and I saw this. There's a couple of big paintings, and the one that is hanging at the bottom.
Yeah.
The first one, a big person's face on it.
Yeah.
I asked around, and it might be from Lip Chin.
Yes.
On Jeff Koons.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called Climbing Mount Koons. I think that piece is called.
So what's the story behind that? Why you buy it?
Yeah.
Much?
Well, actually, all the art that you see in my office and in even my home, they have a story, and they're mostly from my friends, because I have so many friends who are artists. If I want to support, who else to support than my own friends? So Lip was one of those where I knew his brother first. His brother worked for me, Aaron, at my Asylum studio and the shop. We had an Asylum Shop from 2005. So Aaron was working at the shop. And then he was trying to get into design then, I remember, a very passionate man. And then his brother, he introduced his brother's work to me, and I saw that, wow, this guy is really talented. And I saw his work, I fell in love with it, so I bought 2 pieces there, and there's another piece at the pantry.
So why that piece?
I just think there is such a interesting satire that you take somebody really famous, like Jeff Koons, and then he draws this little cartoon figure trying to, overcome. To me, I saw it as almost himself. Like, how do you make it as an artist, at that age when you're coming out? So I think he painted obviously a very famous figure that if you see, you recognize. Most people recognize. And then he added a little, cartoon guy that's trying to scale that mountain. So I saw it as something, a tongue-in-cheek kind of way of trying for him to kind of position himself in the art world. And I think the art world is always a lot about psychology, about how you play the game. It's not just about talent. I mean, a lot of people have talent, but they become nobody. So I think it's important to be smart as an artist. So you know the world around you. How do you then, move your way and find yourself within the art world? I thought he was really talented.
Yeah. Well, Lip Chin, on that piece on Jeff Koons, especially Jeff Koons, when I speak to artists, they have not very good things to say about Jeff.
Of course. He's commercial, of course. But the thing is, okay, then I would say in the art world, like the design world, it is such a difficult industry to be in, because the minute you become successful, you're a sellout. Everybody wants the guy who is not successful. It's a very strange thing. Like in every other industry or any other career in your life, if you are good, you should command top dollar and you're at the top. Except for artists. Why? Except for designers. Why? I mean, if you are good, you should be recognized. People will love you, obviously. Then your pieces become more expensive. But I guess there's this thing about the rebelliousness of the art and the design world where people, because we are passionate, and to us, money wasn't anything at all when we started our love, right? We just want to create. So when somebody becomes successful, I guess then you go like, oh, that guy is a seller, or he's very commercial now. Just because people recognize his talent. Yeah. We love to be the only one that recognize somebody's talent. Right? When you say, oh, I like Herzog and Dimuran architect. Oh yeah, I followed him 10 years ago. Like, it's this thing about I'm there first, therefore nobody can appreciate this person like me.
Yeah.
It's this thing, right? And so I have this thing about, what's wrong with artists who are, successful?
Yeah, and do you need to go through that within yourself along your journey? Because I know you started out as, designing album covers, and that was like super underground, and that was like...
I wanted to design album covers.
You didn't?
Because there's no industry in Singapore.
No money, yeah.
Yeah. So I had that passion. I wanted to do CD covers, but when I graduated, okay, there's no music industry here. So I went into advertising as my first job. But I always say designers will never, you can't accuse designers of selling out, because we already sold out the day we became a graphic designer. Right? Your skill is to help a brand, a service become commercial. So that is already a sellout from day one. So graphic design itself, obviously, is not as pure as art, where it's really you and your internal expression, what you believe in, and then,
Yeah, I mean, I hope the artist found it, because I feel like every artist have that battle, and then it's so weird because then you sabotage yourself, to make yourself not famous so that you could be cool,
Of course, I think if the themes that you explore as an artist are purely commercial, then you will be criticized, right? But I guess if you can be who's one of these artists, Gerhard Richter, for example, he's the most expensive painter that's alive. You look at his work; he's not commercial. But he just do what he wants to do, and obviously the world recognizes his talent, but then there's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, well, I think he's one of the lucky ones, right? Because then you look at Van Gogh, who never see the light, never make the money before he died.
Yeah, most artists, I guess, will be like that.
Yeah, and do you think that like he knows how to position and sell in psychology? Versus maybe Van Gogh had a few missing things that he...
I think art again in those days and art today is very different. I think in the early days the intention is a lot more purer, right? You are a creator. You paint, you see things that are different from people, and you express it through art. Today is very different because of the money gets involved, right? When money is involved, things are a bit more complicated. Because I know even in the art world today, a lot of artists play the game, so they rub shoulders with curators so that they can put their work in certain museums, and therefore the price gets elevated. So there's a whole game. And if you read 7 Days in the Art World, I think it's great because it talks about how corrupted the whole art industry is. So today it's a bit more complicated, I think, for an artist to get noticed.
Right.
How you can, of course, there are people who they don't care, they do what they do, right?
Yeah.
And then if you get noticed, then it's difficult.
Moving on for art a little bit, with another word that also starts with A. There's actually many words that start with A. Other than your name. So what's up,
Even my wife and my kids.
I know. How did the wife even got the A?
No, actually it wasn't by design. I mean, obviously Asylum, when we first started Asylum, we were toying around with a whole bunch of names, and some really funny and stupid names as well. And then in the end, I kind of settled on Asylum. I think it's also the era, the era in the 90s where we were looking up to all the design companies in UK when they were all a little bit irreverent. So there are names like Tomato, like Why Not Associates, so the names kind of mean an attitude. So that era, I thought, okay, the name Asylum was kind of walking the fine line between madness and genius and, a bit edgy. So I like that name. So we picked that name. Not knowing that, upon just using that name, immediately we get people calling us to ask, oh, are you a Muslim? Are you Islam? Islam. People, we have all these kind of people not even knowing how to pronounce the name. So we had all these issues, but I guess we had the name, so we just stuck by it.
And then
after that, my other company was called Amnesty.
Yeah, February.
And I like the name Amnesty. And I actually like, because it's kind of related to Asylum as well. So I like the fact that they don't kind of represent what they mean, and I like that. So it's just from there, then we...
Fairly social.
Yeah, we have Assembly. We have Artifactt. Yeah, so only from there, then I thought, actually, it's not a bad idea to have something as A, because in the directory, you're always first.
That's true.
You're very close up there, right?
Yeah.
So it actually does work out quite well.
And then the wife and
that's definitely not nothing to do with it. I didn't even notice until we eventually joined the dots but it wasn't by design for sure.
Right. It's people reading too much into it. It's like going Zouk partying. It's like, hey, what's your name? Like, oh, okay, great. Let's chat more. So I think, I guess moving on to the work part a little bit. Many people I spoke to who are designers now, who are doing interior, I think Asylum sort of fly under the radar, either by design or whatnot, as compared to, a kinetic or a foreign policy, right? So I want to give people the context, as they dive into it. So maybe we can start with what is one project that you are really proud of, so there, and then we contrast it with like maybe a project that is like one of the highest price quote project? Maybe give an amount, however.
I think if you talk about projects that I'm really proud of, I think if you look at design projects for a design company, usually the smaller projects it's a lot more pure because there's less people involved and less complications and perimeters. So the work usually is more pure. So naturally, you will be, when you finish it, you are proud because from your conception to the way it's being done, execution at the end, it is what you envision. Whereas for a big project, it's a lot more parameter, a lot more complications, so therefore it's less pure in that way. So I think if you talk about something that we were really proud from beginning to end when we completed, it's probably the warehouse hotel. Because when we saw that potential of that space, we just like, wow, this is such a great building. Just don't fuck it up, like don't mess it up. I look at the space, and then eventually, obviously, we had a great client that was very supportive, and he, basically came to us and said, we like what you do, so see if you can do something to this space. And it's a project that took us like 4 years, a long time, from restoration to eventually doing the interior, the branding, and launching it. So it was a long time, and for us to be finally happy and proud at the end of the day, it was like, wow, when it's completed, we were very happy that we can pull out a project. It was our first hotel as well.
Wow.
Before that, we were always doing like parts of restaurants and bars, and we have never done a full hotel. So that was always like a first project, and we hit bullseye lah. And then the other high profile projects like maybe National Gallery is one as well. And it was a very interesting project because it would never have happened if it were earlier in my career. This would never have happened. The way that we looked at the project and eventually able to push through something that was quite daring, and to have the audacity to do something like this to a national project, and for it to basically at the end of it come true lah. I think that was one of those.
So like what's the, let's say, a dollar amount for a let's not talk about National Gallery because you sort of do it at a discount, right?
Yeah.
But like one of the National Service, one of the more higher price projects, what would be an amount like people?
A typical high price project is usually based on how much hours you need to spend. So naturally, you will become interior and hotels because there is so much to do, and the length of time is a lot longer. For a hotel, you typically take at least 2 years, and then maybe longer. So, and imagine if you're doing a restaurant, a hotel is maybe like 15 restaurants projects put into one, the kind of scale. So naturally, the fees will be more, and more would be upwards of 1 million and more. Whereas when you do cafe or retail, you can never make that kind of money. Plus the square footage is small. Retail is like 1,000 square feet. So those you really do for love more than anything else. So we have, and in the company, we need a mixture. So we would have maybe 2 big projects and then like 20 mid small ones, so that you can balance out. And then also, I mean, as a designer, young designers, they don't want to come into a project and it takes 4 years to complete. Meanwhile, they have nothing to show. I think a lot of designers are very eager. They want to really have stack up a nice portfolio. So they need small projects to then build up to something.
So
yeah.
So a higher like interior hotel project, are we looking at upwards of like 5 million? Or like 1 million or 10 million?
No, 5 is not possible. I mean, it's not possible even for developers to eventually break even, I think. Okay. So you'll be looking at maybe hitting 2 will be the cap, I think.
2 will be cap.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for a sort of cafe, would be 200K?
No, less. Yeah, much less. Depending on how big the space is, right?
So like a high cafe would be like what, 50?
If the cafe is 2,000 square feet, then you are looking at maybe between 100 to 150. I think it's definitely not high lah.
Right, interesting.
Plus, the cafe owners, how much would they want to spend? Whereas hotels, they are developers, so they budget long term, so it's different.
Yeah, and then what about like branding? like project? Like, I mean, the low end, let's say National Gallery would be.
So that one is different because it was basically its national service.
Right.
A typical branding project today, if you can charge between 1 to 200,000, is quite there. It's quite good. It's very hard to, in those days where you can charge $500,000 for branding, those days are over, I think. Also because of the way, there's less execution. Everything is digital today. Before that, you have so much collateral to design. Yeah, you have a lot of things to design. But today, they just want a logo. They don't even want business card. It's like, I just need a logo. Everything is going to be digital. I don't need any expression at all. So therefore, there's only so much you can charge for a logo.
Yeah.
Today.
How come back in days there is a sort of $500,000 branding? How did that came about? I mean, you mentioned that there's the art and all that.
I think big corporations as well. So I guess if you're PepsiCo, if you're trying to do a rebrand, obviously the amount of work that need to go into research, that need to go into focus group, study, and obviously if it's a project that is big in scale or stature, there's a lot of justifying that needs to be done. It's not really based on the whim of 1-2 stakeholders, right? You need to make a lot of research and interview. So those are the things that build up. Eventually, you have a brand deck, a brand manual that extends to all different parameters and all different executions. So all those things, there's a lot of work. And today, the work is just being streamlined a lot, just because everything is digital.
Yeah, interesting. Like interior projects never was in that sort of like if like Coca-Cola or Johnny Walker were to come in with something like that, and it would never have gone up to be like I guess what would be the equivalent for branding? It's like a 5 mil because I need to do a lot of research. I need to know, right?
For interior.
Interior. Yeah.
Yeah,
interesting.
Interior is just really time. The time that needs for you to do design, do render, to do drafting. Because for a hotel, how many stacks of drafting do we need? Like every angle, you have to do all the detailing. So a lot of time is put into the project, and therefore you build the hours.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it never come to a point of like, oh, I'm selling an idea, and this idea is worth more. It's just like a kind of a time like, okay,
never
not like a marketing, because back then when ads are still a thing, right?
Yeah,
you could actually get a lot from just an idea, a good idea.
Which is why the agencies are dead now. Today they are no longer around. A lot of the agencies have really downsized by a lot. I find this, I think it's the age where creativity came and left very quickly. The age of creativity in its golden years, 15 years ago, where everybody loved ideas and want a great idea. Today, that has been replaced by, data. It's replaced by, touch points and mostly data. And so those days of great ideas in advertising, in design, I don't think they exist anymore.
Oh, wow.
I think digital, or the fact that people can access and look at data and then design based on data, to me that killed creativity. I mean, imagine if you watch a movie and every part of a movie they do a survey, and how do you want the movie to go? All movies will become shit, right? I mean, can you imagine if it is based on public data and what exactly everything? That will be the death of everything.
Yeah, there's a great quote somewhere, is that if you A/B test your website to the end, you will become a porn site.
Yeah, it's totally true.
Yeah, but movies still retain. There's a certain level of like, I'm still paying for a good story, and a good director still commands maybe a 10x higher than a normal director. But you say that in the design, branding, interior industry, those days are gone.
Interior, I think, is okay. I feel branding or graphic design is gone. Like the days of like ideas and making design that are unique. When we started, the number one factor of what you want to do is originality, right? You want your work to be original. But today, no. Everybody wants to be part of a tribe. If you're a cafe, you want that kind of look. So it's easy to design a cafe because you just need to have that feel look, and everybody go like, wow, it's a nice cafe. But then it's counterintuitive to a creative person where, hey, this you can't tell, you take away the logo, you can't tell whose cafe is this good, they all look the same today. Right? But so I think that has also changed. Like young designers today, they just want to conform to the look. That's why Pinterest is so popular, right? Look at interior. I want to have this lamp, this background, this. Every cafe looks the same and every spa looks the same.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because then where's the brand in that, right? Where's the differentiation in that?
Yeah, I think people just want to be part of a tribe, strangely. Whereas in the past, I think we wanted to be different. We want to stand out. But people today want to conform. They want to fit in to a certain. They feel that, oh, this is the good taste, a tribe. So I want to fit into that tribe. It's different.
So does it make your life harder as a person who's designing, or you just turn down a lot of projects? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I think actually we do turn down quite a fair bit of projects. I think we turn down the various reasons. Also because sometimes I feel that design can't help your problem, can't solve your problem.
Yeah.
I feel within a brand and a product or a service, actually the product or service is about 80% of what you have to do that right before you have a brand. And branding is kind of to me the icing, on the cake. If you look at, say for example, Spotify, right? Is Spotify a great brand? No, it's a great product. Is Apple a great brand? No, it's a great product. The product is like everything.
But like Patagonia is a great brand.
Yeah, no, so fashion, like Fred Perry, for example. Yeah. Everybody sells polo. Why is Fred Perry $150 and Topshop is $30? That's the brand, the heritage, the story. But so that is some parts where the brand plays a big part, but a lot of products and services actually is really about that.
The product
or the service first. So if I feel that, for example, this bunch of people came to me and said, oh, we have this, we're going to make a great juice bar. Like, okay, juice bar. And then, so I say, what's the differentiation? Oh, your design. I thought, wow, if you're just depending on my design to elevate your juice bar, I think people don't go to juice bar to drink design, right? I'm like, So I thought about that and we didn't take on the project because I find that they don't know what they want and then they're just trying to sell something that, and they were going to position it next to a hawker center which has great juices for like, 1/10 the price.
Right.
So I felt some projects when I feel that, the design doesn't really help your business, then I'd rather not go into it. And be disappointed or you disappoint the client. Oh, why isn't there a long queue after you design our juice bar? Like, okay.
Because they came into it with the idea that,
the design is a differentiator.
We're gonna sell the thing, right?
Yeah.
But what you're saying that, yes, it might differentiate, but it's not going to differentiate enough for a long queue to happen.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we did Frolick years ago.
Yeah, how is Frolick different from?
So Frolick, when they first came, we gave them the idea that we wanted it to be a tongue-in-cheek brand.
Yeah.
So that it's very striking. The first unit they had at Holland Village where the magazine store was. It was a really great spot. So we designed it was very striking. People saw, wow, they go there. But at the end of the day, when you go back again, what works is really the product. You need to have flavors, you need to have topping, you need to stand more than good design.
Yeah.
I think that's why, then the partnership fell apart. So there were like 4 or 5 partners, and then we started well and then they expanded very quickly. But I think they imploded. So in the end, they just didn't continue anymore.
Yeah. Back then, when you took on Frolick, how do you see it differently from the juice bar? Why do you take on that and how do you think design has helped?
The difference then and today is me.
Okay.
When I was much younger, obviously your ego is higher. You feel that your design can change the world, right? You feel like, wow, you do this, everybody talk about it. They talk about it because of your design, not because of the great yogurt that they tasted. So the difference is that, right? But today I'm going like, I don't really need that kind of ego anymore. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. Right? So
interesting. So you say that if today Frolick would have came to you like way back then, so you wouldn't take on Frolick?
Wow. No, unless the product is great, and then we will design it based on the great product, and not have a design that is totally have no relation to the product.
Oh, wow!
You know what I mean, yeah.
Right. And I guess also today you have really won awards, so you don't need any more awards.
Yeah.
And you have enough clients and data. To
it's
be
different. I think it's just different. I think our priorities are different. Like in the past, we used to say every year we need to do a pro bono project that will win us awards. So we do stuff that are cool.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a cool project every year. Like go to Zouk and do we did a hut inside Velvet Underground, that kind of stuff. So we do just fun projects that are cool. But then after, I don't know, maybe when I turn 40, I go like, oh, those things are not interesting anymore. So then we said, okay, maybe we should do a charity project every year that gives meaning. So then we help, like Able is one of them. Before that, Boys Town.
Yeah, Boys Town.
We would kind of design their space so that it's great for the people who lives there, and we felt, I mean, I sleep better at night, I guess. It kind of the fact that we can use our design to good use rather than commercial. Because otherwise we are just helping people to sell more whiskey or sell more stuff or juice or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you can then do more with our design and do some good with it, at least
When, like, I mean, you mentioned in the 40s, was there like an inflection point or something happened, or watch a movie that sort of like started the thought process, then leading to the decision of like, okay, I'm not going to do this?
Not really. It wasn't a movie I watched that shocked me to tears or anything like that. It was just slowly, I just felt that, okay, for example, we send things to awards every year and we win D&AD or we win one show and we are, but then after that, so I don't know, I felt that it's a vicious cycle if you continue to do this. And because it's not important anymore. I don't know, my priorities just switched and it wasn't important to me anymore.
So for almost 10 years, it was, okay, the thing to do, right?
More than that. I think we started in 99. So, so we were, for good 10 years, we were submitting all the awards in the world, trying to win every award there is in the world.
Yeah.
And then after that, we felt that we didn't need to anymore.
And there wasn't like, it was just a sense of a feeling of the change in values or something like that.
The thing that I didn't realize was because we have a lot of younger designers. So the ones that join us later join the fact that we are award-winning agency. Then how come this agency stopped submitting awards? Of course, they're at different stages of their career, right? So maybe that I felt, okay, like it's unfair to the younger designers who definitely are on the upstart, like they want to make a name for themselves, right? But I also find today awards are, as a whole, are less important because I judge in a lot of awards and I can see the amount of work sent to awards dwindling because kids don't look at award books. We used to have, if you look downstairs, we have all the D&AD one show every year we'll buy and then we'll look at, wow, the great work, right?
Yeah.
But today, everything. So they don't, if you don't look at awards, then no.
Right, so the idea is that back then that awards could get you clients, right? So
not so much clients. I think awards can always get you better designers.
Okay,
when you win awards, people want to join your firm.
Right.
Clients usually don't really care. Honestly, you're cheaper. Okay, I come to you. Rarely you find clients that go, wow, I really like your work. And at whatever price, I want you.
No, really?
There are some.
Come on. Yeah.
And those we make the best projects.
Yes.
Because there's mutual respect there, right? But a lot of clients, they go, I would like your work, but I want that price. So then you go, how do you match? It doesn't work that way. So you say it's not possible.
Okay, so then that's why, so the awards doesn't get you the client, then you realize that, then the awards get you the good
better
young
designers.
So that's for sure. And then if you didn't want to send for awards anymore, then the designer stopped coming, right?
It didn't for our case because we were doing high profile projects. Do you know what I mean? We're still doing, you basically do projects that people recognize. Then designers will want to join you because they say, oh wow, who did the new Aesop? Oh shit, these guys. So they as long as you continue to do high level projects, it doesn't matter. Johnny Walker houses we did right around the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are still up there. It's just that we stopped submitting to awards. Only because I think
because you don't need it doesn't affect your inflow of employees.
Doesn't.
And then you're not getting better clients. Then you're wasting time and effort. Which, how much is it? How much?
A lot of money. I mean, it depends. Every piece you want to submit, it could be up to $300 per entry. And then they have multiple entries, right? For like design, you have the best this, best that. And by the time you one piece of work, you could send 2-3 entries.
Also like $1,000 gone.
Easily, no more than it used to be when I was at Ogilvy. Every year they would spend $30,000-$40,000 just to send awards.
Wow.
every year. It's
And just
really crazy.
also the effort to package it, right?
Yeah, yes, there's a lot of work to mount it, to make videos of a story. Sometimes the project is just a simple thing, but wow, the way they make video interview, and the production is incredible. I'm like, wow. Of course, if you're an agency, you don't really care because they just want to win awards, right?
Yeah.
They don't care. I said, I'll take the 20,000. We go for a company trip. I'd rather we spend that money to go use, right? Everybody go on a holiday. What's the point of making production like that?
Yeah, it's also just spending the time of the people to the actual projects.
Yeah.
To just build the hours, right?
Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah, we used to do that when before COVID. Whenever we can,
Yeah.
we'll take everybody on a trip,
Yeah.
on holiday.
Hold on, bro. I'm going to ask you about that later. Yeah, so there wasn't any specific a movie or a book or whatever. It's just like, it just become irrelevant now, this award thing. Like
Maybe fatherhood. Maybe
Is it really?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. Because that's a big change, right? When I was 43, I became a father. That's a big change, but not really. It's just gradually, like the way we move into interior, it wasn't something that we planned. It wasn't something that I say, let's do interior. From day one, we just gradually move into interior.
Are you more like a intuitive kind of person?
Definitely. And we move into areas where I have passion in, not because interior is great, let's do interior now. I would
The trend.
Yeah, we don't do residential. Anybody who comes to us who say we want to do a house, I don't know how to design your house because I'm not you. I don't want you to have my taste. So how can I design your house? I don't get that. So for brand, because my background is branding, what's your target audience, right? If you're a brand, if you're a hotel, there is some parameters and it's not personal.
Yeah.
So we moved into retail because I really love retail. I love retail as an industry. I love fashion. I love everything. So it was natural that, we need to do retail.
Yeah.
And then after that, we need to do restaurant. And then hotel was the last barrier. I think without warehouse hotel, I don't think we would have gone into, make that leap into designing hotel full time.
Because it's actually really interesting that like I know a few designers, great designners who are like intuition based, but then their like business acumen is like off of the shits lah. So will you say like you kind of sound lucky that like thank God your passion is leading to something that can actually make some money? Or you filter out like, maybe this one I really like, but like, okay, maybe that one doesn't make money, so I just put it aside. This one I make money, okay, double down here.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for design studios, it's hard to lose money unless because what you're selling is your skill, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and most design companies start very small. When we first started, it was 3, became 6 of us, and then we were small. So it's really our skills, and then we sell it. So we just build up our portfolio from there,
Yeah, well, I guess that's right. I mean, they wouldn't. I guess the main thing is not like going bankrupt or whatever. It's more so they're like, okay, now what? And like, but now kind of. Yeah,
I think a lot of designers underprice themselves. So for me, that is one thing. Another thing that, when I started Asylum, first few projects we did, I remember there was this client that wanted us to work on a project.
Okay.
We quoted, they said, it's very expensive. So can you cut, by 30%, So
What's the branding?
Branding. So we wanted that project, so I took on the project. And then after that, she was like, telling us to change this, change that. And so we were accommodating her. And then they said, actually, most of the ideas are all mine. So, why are we paying you any money now? So in the end, you get like, you get kicked at the bottom, right? First you lose that money, and then you lose your pride, you lose your dignity. So you go there like, so this is not the way it should go, right?
Yeah.
So you should always price yourself there and then be assertive, right? Once clients pay a bit more, they will listen to you a bit more because they're paying so much, right? No point, they pay you a lot of money and then they tell you what to do.
So like, what would be too low? I mean, is there a dollar amount? I know it's a bit hard to give.
It's hard to, but we look at the industry standard. We are always priced 30% higher. That's my positioning. We have to be higher. I don't want to be the lowest quote. So when we go for open pitch, right? When everybody's fees are there, I want to be at least top 2 lah. I don't want to be middle, but then no point. You want to be there, and then once you're there, then you go to the clients and we have the expertise. I'm telling what to do. Then they'll listen to your ideas, right? Because they pay you that money, they better listen to you.
But like, why not like top like 70% more? Not like that. That's a bit like ludicrous, right?
Yeah, I guess okay lah. I mean, if you are the only person that can do that job, maybe. But I don't think the world needs. The world always have an option.
But maybe like a Pentagram or Stefan Sackmeister.
I'm sure Sackmeister is more like a freelance, so individual. But Pentagram, I'm sure they go into price war as well. I'm sure. Yeah, it's not easy.
Right. So 30%. Yeah. So would you say that like most brands you sort of charge the same based on the amount of work? Say I want a logo for I don't know, Nike.
Okay.
Right, versus a logo for Beyond the Vines.
Okay.
Right, so both fashion.
Yeah. Generally, I will charge a bit more for pain factor. So if I know the decision making is painful, I will put in the pain fee.
Okay.
So that to me is big corporations, especially like banks, where you have to present to multiple layers. Well, anyway, it's scary lah. Multiple layers, and then before you even hit the top, when you hit the top, maybe everything is all wasted, right? They go like, oh, we didn't want this, so we've gone through that. So those projects, I definitely put a premium over it.
Okay.
Because you just know it's going to take more time. It's going to take more time. It's going to be painful. Other than that, I think more or less about the same. I do not say because they are big brand versus they are cafe.
So, like, say if Nike and Beyond the Vines are both nice clients, or both equally difficult clients, so you will charge both the same lah.
Depending on the project lah. I mean, if it's
the same
logo for the same thing, I think so. I don't think I will go any different unless I think that this is a global rollout again. Right, it's different because even photographers have rights usage on it. So if it's a global rollout or if it's a regional rollout, when I know the stakes are higher, of course, then we need to do more, present more. Again, they go back to the work. When you go to a cafe, you're the owner, I just show you two logos. Yeah, you like it, I tell you why, it's done. We wrap it up. But for corporation, it's always layers and layers and stuff. So we build in the time. So it will be more expensive just because the time spend is more.
Right.
But not because, because they are rich, so we charge them more because they are rich.
And so let's say if I'm a cafe owner, maybe not a cafe owner, like a fashion brand, because let's go on fashion brand, and I come to you for a logo, then would you be, and then I don't come to you for interior lah. Or do you like it more that I come to you for logo or come to you for interior?
Today is the same because wherever we do, somebody will think we did the other. So sometimes if the logo is super cringe, we won't take on the project. If we're not doing it, because people assume that you are the one, the redesign, right? So there are times where the logo was so cringe, like I go like shit. If we're not changing the logo, I will not take on the project because people assume, hey, wow, how come the logo like that? Oh. Yeah, so it is again. We corner ourselves into a space that is stupid lah. Because you shouldn't be worried about such things. Yeah. But we do lah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. But most of the time is asking us to do interior when the brand is, you can't touch the brand, right? Because the brand is really established.
Yeah.
So that's where the struggle is lah.
Yeah. So you need to decide whether you want to take or not.
Or most projects that come to us, a lot of them, the heritage brands are very difficult. Because I feel that I cannot add any value to you or me. For me, any project that I want, it has to be win-win, right? It's a win for you and for me. If I do, let's say, Buntogi chicken rice come to us, I will not take on a project only because it will satisfy you, it will not satisfy me. If it satisfies me, it will not satisfy you. It cannot be a win-win because to me, heritage food, people want their comfort, right? So, and their brand is already rooted, unless you say you want to start a new chicken rice brand, a new brand, completely new, okay, then we have leverage, we can do something interesting. But if it's an old brand and they want to just change a little bit, it's very difficult.
And there's no way to justify the premium that you're charging if you are not just picking a little bit, making a package or
So it's not interesting lah.
Right. And so if I'm Buntogi, then I'm like going to the frozen space, right? Then I'm like, hey, how do you? So with that kind of scope, like what is the dollar amount for a premium 30% thing look like? So I want to go into cold storage, do frozen chicken rice off at 7-Eleven, right? This pre-packed one lah.
Wow, we never done something like that, so
Sorry.
Anyway, Michelle is my money.
Oh, okay,
person, so
yeah.
she will usually work out the fees based on again the hours we spend.
Okay. National Gallery. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. You have 50 designs. Took 3 months.
Yeah, more. We have more. We shortlisted in the end. Maybe we had a lot. If you look at the number of logos we did, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I think the final shortlist was 6.
Oh.
Which we presented to the board. Out of which 6, I think 4 of them would be logos that you put up and nobody will say anything. Like most of the logos you see of any public interest, they are just innocuous. The logo is there. Yeah, okay, it's a logo, right? So we had logos that were quite nice and based on growth, based on architecture, based on very, very safe and sound kind of concepts, approach, and then you put it up, okay, everybody will be okay, right? It's okay. And then we have one that was wow. I was a bit uncomfortable already from beginning. Like, okay, it's just but I guess after speaking to Eugene, who's the museum director, right, and he was really aligned with what we wanted to do, which was propel. If it's an Asian museum, and we all think about history, it's all old stuff. You look at Asia, or look at all the art in Thailand, Indonesia. So, but we wanted the museum to be forward-looking, and part of the branding that we did for them, the values was really forward. So we looked at Bauhaus, we looked at how postmodernism. We wanted to propel the museum as a platform for the future, and therefore that gave me the gusto to present to the board. And then when the board said, what do you recommend? I said, this is the identity. Yeah, and they said, okay. I mean, obviously it wasn't, there were again, out of the 6 logos, there will be 2 that is, unanimous.
Yeah.
And this one, it didn't sit well with some of the board members because of this project that we had to go through a lot of rounds. And obviously the board at the end. So it wasn't
smooth sailing, right?
It wasn't from there. So I already knew it. Even if we put it up there, it will be controversial for sure because it's such an old and
But because you spoke to Eugene and he feels aligned, and so you have at least one person backing you, lah.
Yeah. I mean, the museum director is important. His vision, right? He's the one that is curating all the art in there. Correct. So we felt that we wanted to do something that will propel the museum, forward instead of looking back at art through the ages.
Yeah, because it's not about you, because you're doing it also with his vision in mind, wanting to take it forward. And so if it aligns with the vision,
I think the product at the end of it have to support the brand, right? If you have a brand that looks like that, but everything else is very old and and then obviously it will fall flat. Yeah. So to me, the content was what that inspired us to then
Yeah, so so that's, I wanted to go back to a little bit of the process a little bit, right? So like, there are probably other studios pitching, and then you mentioned to me that one of us wrote you a very nice letter to say...
wrote to the museum.
Oh, the museum!
She actually wrote to the CEO.
Wow!
Even better. So she gave me the letter. She said, wow, you have a fan. Wow. So we were the last 2 that pitched for the idea, the last 2, and we won out at the end. And so
you pitched 6. You pitched 6 or something like that?
No. I think it was during the selection we gave ideas. So then after that we were selected already. So it wasn't like a competition until the end. Right. So we were all in, and then after that we won the project. So we were redesigning it already.
So the 6 logo come after you won?
Yes, we were the designers working on the project lah. So we did from 200 to 50 to 6. Wow. It's all from us lah. Yeah, because it wasn't a competition in that sense. So in the end, it was just us. So but they were close in winning the project. Oh, and
like they were they present in the. You saw their work?
No. We didn't know at all. We didn't know until when the thing went out, and then I remember it was a Sunday. I got a call from Straits Times. Wow, hey Chris, I want to talk about National Gallery logo. Yeah. Wow, do you expect such a big ruckus? Hoo-ha? I said, really? I didn't know that. Tell me what's going on. I don't know. So she said, wow, you should look at, I don't know, whatever. So then it went on Today paper as on the cover, and then I kept somewhere. Went to Straits Times, all this. There was a debate. And I said, like, wow, to me, it was like, it was great, the platform for me. Yeah. Conversation, I said, nobody will give 2 shits about logos, but then suddenly you get the nation talking about logo. And then I was very excited that Marketing Asia, I think the magazine, did an interview, and I was very happy that I could air my piece there lah. And when people say, oh, people find that it's a little bit too simple, like a kid's drawing. And I say we should always take inspiration from kids because they are pure, right? They don't see bullshit. They just give you what's straight on, and then I find that as a compliment, you know.
Yeah. Is the letter public record for the other company that gave to the compliment?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh.
No. I mean, she gave to them.
Oh, okay. No, it'd be great to, like, hey, put that,
No lah,
frame it.
no that lah. but they were nice lah. I mean, they were really nice.
Oh, that's great.
To write that to the CEO.
Yeah. Which I mean, is it which studio, which person?
Sedgwick Richardson. It's a more studio.
Right. Actually, who worked for Sedgwick Richardson before?
I'm sure a lot of people. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, I think if that project, I think everything comes at a stage of your career where you have certain confidence and then you can pull it off and you can pull through. I think that project landed on me maybe 10 years earlier, we would have done something safe. At the end of the day, it would have been something nobody would bet an eyelid on.
Yeah. So I have no idea about this hotel project because you mentioned about like 4 years, $1 million, whatnot. I mean, the process of it, right? So, I mean, do you mind if I ask some ignorant questions?
Sure.
Okay. So they have the first conversation, you pitch some ideas, or the guy have a call for designers to design a hotel. Right? Usually it's a private owner. Right?
You're talking about warehouse hotel or hotel projects in general?
Does it looks the same for
it's different because warehouse hotel was the owner and the brand is one person. Typically, hotels have owners who own the building, and then they look for brands like Hyatt. They look for Marriott Group. So they look for different management companies. So typical hotel projects, you have two sets of clients. One is the owners that look for you, and then the other one is the brand management, right? Who runs either the Hyatt or Peninsula or whatever. So yeah, and you have two, which is a bit more complicated.
So you charge a bit more paying fee if there's two lah.
Not really, because they're all like that.
Oh, they're all like that. It's just the warehouse hotel, a special case.
Yeah, well, we were lucky that I on hindsight now, I didn't know how lucky we were when we landed on warehouse hotel, and it was a passion project. So the owner, Mr. Chong, he was like, "Let's do it!" Everything we do, like, "Oh, let's do it." So he had a lot of passion, and so it was such a smooth. Not what was it smooth, but it was a nice project lah. Basically, the experience was nice from beginning to end, And then we got lo and behold to manage the hotel, and then I worked with for many years. So I knew he was looking to manage a hotel. So everything came together nice, and then we started getting calls from hotel groups. I said, "Oh, we saw it, we love it. We want to do hotel." So then we started to get involved in hotel, and then I realized how different it was, how different, how complicated, and it's not easy when you have to mitigate between owners. Okay, if the brand is strong, when the brand dictates everything, so the owner just spend, right? A lot of time, the owners want to cut costs. And the brands want to have the best. Then we get sandwiched in between. So it's complicated, that way lah.
Right on. And if knowing that upfront, do you now be like, okay, this is the minimum spend you need to spend with me? Owner, sign off. Might be more, might be less, but this is the range lah. This is,
I don't think we think of project in money terms lah. We think of whether we can get a good product out there first.
Right.
The money, we don't say, hey, you cannot earn 1 million. We don't take. I don't think we don't.
No, but not saying that because the owners want to budget because if you don't keep running cut costs, then you.
So it depends. If it's a great project, a great project, you cut my fee into half, I will still do it. Because it's a great project. There's always this thing about potential of realizing something that you love. And that puts us in a vulnerable spot where the client know that, hey, I got this project you want to do, but my fee is only $10. Like, oh shit, should I do another? Take $10. It's always like that. Versus a project that is not so exciting, with a lot of money, even that you think twice whether you want to take or not.
Right. And then because I know interior for HDB or whatever, they price the quote with the build, right? But you guys just do design, right?
We don't do a turnkey. Turnkey, you price everything in, and then you do your contractor is part of you, and we don't like that. We like to be more professional.
Right.
When you're just doing fees, you're doing a supervision, and then contractor is third party, and we don't get involved.
It's also easier to code, I think.
You might make less money, but less headache also.
Yeah, less headache. Yeah, you're right.
Like, to be honest, I don't know what other interior companies charge, to be honest, because we won't know. Sometimes when we...
You can just ask the client what.
Yeah, but not all clients will tell you. They only tell you when your fee is twice more than their...
Yeah, then you know already what.
Yeah, then I go like, how can you survive with that kind of fee? No, not possible.
Right.
So sometimes we go like, we can't take on a project, and then we wonder how can another company quote so low, because it's a lot of... So maybe they really want the project.
No,
right? It's the same thing, right? So there's always this thing about somebody who really want you don't mind doing it for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then the fees is 50-50, or you do, I guess, for bigger projects, you 20...
10, 20, 30 is... Because it's 2-3 years.
Oh, yeah.
So they break it down, yeah. So
Right.
Longer.
Have you ever pitched a project that never came to you and never asked for the quote?
Never.
So like you really like this brand and you think you have a vision for this different, make it different, or this new product line. Have you ever done that?
Proactively. They're not seeking out.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but actually, we have this thing about not pitching from day one. Today, it's a bit different, the landscape, but for the first, at least maybe 15-20 years of our existence, we don't pitch for projects. Because we feel when you pitch, it's like a beauty contest, right? You go in immediately naked, there's nothing to talk anymore. And pitching is like this, giving free ideas. And the client is like, oh, I like your idea, but I only want to pay half. There's no way to negotiate. Basically, you can only say yes, or of course they will say yes because they already say they like the idea and they'll pick the idea, right? So I believe free pitching is very bad for the industry. So then we ask for a pitch fee, which is about 10% of the actual fee. And some clients, they pay now. So they pay pitch fee. I think it's fair. Then everybody gets a pitch fee. Then you put in time, right? Otherwise, you just get the freelancer, hey, just do this, which is no point as well.
Then the idea, the pitch not good.
No good, yeah. So I feel pre-pitching. So for the longest time, we don't do that. But now I think post-COVID is very different. So it's a bit more. So we still try to say, okay, we give you thinking, concept, but we don't show you certain things or whatever. Yeah.
They ask if they're okay or not. Then okay, then you go forth. Right. You mentioned that sometimes you look at projects and you alter their business models.
No, I look at companies. You're talking about Asylum business model, is it? No,
like a project that come to you, and then I don't know, like a Frolick, or I mean just randomly.
What we have done for restaurants is before is to take half in fee and half in kind. So for example, we would quote this for this restaurant. They go like, I really like your work, but then your fee is too high. So I say, why don't you pay me half the fee and the other half will put it as credit now. So we will eat the restaurant for free until you take off. So we had a lot of restaurants. At one point, we had like 4-5 restaurants in Singapore that we can just bring our clients or bring anybody, like company party, just go and eat, and then we just deduct.
That's great.
We did that for a while. And then some projects, like Four Fingers was one. Where when the client came to us, again, they thought our fee was too high. So then we proposed half was put into this clause for 2 years. Each new store that they open, we get a royalty, which is great because then if you are successful, then we are successful too. So Four Fingers, we did that. Unfortunately, after we designed the first 2-3 stores, then they had an internal issue, so they had lawsuit. So they trying to sue some partner out. So then they were stagnant, they didn't grow until somebody bought everybody out. I think 2-3 years later, and then they went crazy. Right now you see Four Fingers everywhere.
So you still the claw?
Miss out because it's only for 2 years. After that, we don't have anymore. So we got done.
The lifetime.
Yeah.
Or 10 years. I see. So that's you mean that's more like tweaking the code a little bit. Do you ever go in and tweak their business model?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
I mean,
the example?
I look at businesses, I feel, because I also run different businesses.
Yeah.
So therefore, when I look at certain things, I will try to talk to them about certain issues, like how you measure sales per square foot within a retail space, for example, right? So I understand how do you look at human psyche when you walk to a store, how do you position your products so that certain products get pushed forward, and then, so stuff like that I can share with whatever I have, knowledge that I have, and then also for restaurants. I mean, when a client comes to me and says, "Oh, we have this restaurant, but I don't know, I'm this cuisine, that cuisine fusion," I say it's very difficult. You need to have a key focus for a restaurant. Nobody go there to eat interior, right? Okay, unless you are convenient, you are like a space where the food is just there, but people are meeting other people, right? So for restaurant, you need to have some kind of focus. So when I see the food that is here, then I will share with them, maybe you need to have more focus in what kind of cuisine you're serving, and then see whether within that market is there competitors around you. Because a lot of people, when they start a business, they just do what they like, and because it's something that they dream of, but they don't think of everything else, like how will people bite that idea? Will people like what you are doing?
Who are you competing around the area?
I'm a bigger skeptic when it comes to any project. Okay, first I will question, why would anybody want to walk or buy your product or go into your shop? Nobody is interested in you.
Yeah.
Why would anybody, unless you have something to say, you have something to differentiate? Nobody cares about what you have, right? So then from there, you start to question, and then you take the boxes, I guess.
Yeah. So you clear the checklist, then you take on, then you say there's value, and then the client then you talk to them, the first convo, then you take the brief, their brief.
Yeah. A lot of times the brief is a result of the conversation, right? So they thought they needed this, but through the conversation, actually they didn't want this. They needed something else.
Right.
And then we changed that brief already, which is easier than you take the brief and you come back. Because when a client gives you a brief, I expect to see apple. You don't take the brief and then deliver orange. They go like, dude, I wanted this. So during that session, you have to convince the client that they wanted an orange already.
Yeah.
Then you take the brief back. Then they come back and you're great. Otherwise they think which part of my brief do you not get, right?
Right.
So at that point where you're taking the brief is the most important point, I feel, that you can change everything. Then once you take the brief, it's too late already.
Right. And so you sort of, in some sense, reject the brief a little bit. Say, hey, this one, maybe you want to...
You test. If they are very strong on what they want, and then you decide.
If you want
with one, or whether you can deliver something that works for him or her,
Are there times where they tell you, and then you heard something differently from what they're saying?
That you won't know until you present the work.
Okay.
Which happens, of course. They go I want to push, and in the end, they will shape it to become exactly what they wanted in the first place, right? And that happens. Of course, yeah.
Okay. But because of your years of doing this and your own pitch, you probably would know better about okay, you're the kind of client actually you say you want this, but actually you want this other thing. Why don't I just give you this one?
No, I think we choose our battles to fight. You can't be fighting for every project. Then it's a struggle. So some projects you go, okay, by doing this, it's not going to kill anybody. It doesn't really affect what we do. But certain projects that you really feel that strongly they want to, then you fight those projects.
So when you first started out, after you get out of your I forgot the name of the company, but they left right? And then you start your Asylum after talking to Jane, and then
Jane was first round. I was in Ogilvy.
Sorry, yeah.
And then I went to BBH.
Right.
So I was head of design at BBH.
Yeah.
And then I left Singapore wanting to work in New York. So I went interviewed twice, I think. And then came back, and then I got a job. I was going to move to New York.
Oh.
And then I met Jane, and then she's like, you always want to go to New York, play for a few years. After that, what, right? Why don't you start your own company? And I'm like, okay, sounds interesting, but I got no savings. It's okay, I'll fund this, we do together, but I'll put in more so that we can cushion the company.
Yeah, actually, I spoke to her. She was very generous with how much she put in, and 300 at that time.
Yeah.
was quite a bit, no?
Yeah. No, I think she took out 300 at the end.
Oh, she took out
After
300.
I sold.
Oh, after you sold.
So she put in, I think, she put in 30,000.
Oh,
I put in 20,000 if I'm not wrong.
oh, yeah.
And then she put in 30,000 more as a reserve.
Oh,
For if you need to draw out lah.
right.
So she put in, I think, 60,000. Wow. If I'm not wrong. But we didn't have to, because when I started from day one, BBH was my client. It was my biggest client. So we had projects running.
M1 or...
No, then we had CNBC, we had Levi's.
Oh, wow. That's a great project.
So we started there, and then I sold a company 1 year later.
This is... Wait.
Yeah.
We'll come to that.
Yeah.
When you started out, like, I guess looking back, you didn't need so much lah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I say design is, you don't need so much money. You don't have warehouse, you don't have products. You just need computers.
Yeah.
And then you hire staff. Of course, you have nothing to do, then you pay salary every month.
Yeah.
But other than
But
that,
now don't even need the rent, right? Just now co-working or work at cafe.
yeah, we rented a small office in Anxiang then. So, and I had me and one girl that I hired. And then I bought 4 computers so that the office looked more legit. Right? Like, when people come for meeting, they go like, hey, they went out for lunch, but yeah, we have more people.
Right.
But very quickly, then Kara joined me already. Yeah. Kara was with me at BBH, at Ogilvy, so then she joined me shortly after. And then Michelle shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess then looking back, like 20K would have been like more than sufficient. Maybe 10, I don't know, maybe even less.
Like you need more because you need to buy machines.
Okay.
You need to rent a space, unless you want to work from home. But I always felt that you needed an office space lah.
Right.
To put you in the right focus.
Yeah, no, I just kind of want to give people an idea, or like they're stuck in their marketing job, they work too hard, they're burnt out, whatever, right?
30 grand I think is enough. I think 30 grand to buy machines, to hire 1-2 people, one person maybe lah. Yeah, you need to hire somebody to do different parts, because like if you are the owner, if you go and take brief, run this, run that, then you have no time to do the design work, right?
Yeah.
So I hired
like
account servicing
account servicing.
day one, so she can go and do all the meetings. I just do the work.
Yeah.
From day one,
okay, yeah, because you want at least 6 months lah. Yeah, just give it a good shot.
Yeah, I think at least 6 months lah.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's important to know, like, if you want to start your own company, like, you know where your business is going to come from, like, because if you wait for the phone to ring, it's not going to ring, right? So you need to, before you start, you need to already network and know that there are projects coming to you, and you need to start, right? Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 2 sides of the coin. One is like, I really have people asking me, and then I'm doing night job, then I'm burning out plus the day job, but I'm still scared to, get out and start my own. Then the other end is like, I'm the kingpin, I'm I'm gonna go out and they all come find me.
Yeah. So you're still doing your wedding?
No wedding, I gave it away.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave it away. Yeah,
you're still doing that. Okay.
Yeah, so at the end, I was doing $500,000 wedding, and I feel like still young,
explore.
Yeah, I can explore lah. So I put a video. Hey, anyone want to be a wedding planner? Give me for free my company.
No way.
Yeah. So I just spoke to Wan Qi and
interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna meet up with her soon. Yeah. So like open call. People wrote in and I picked the ones that I like. Then I pair up with my friends who are wedding planners. Then they can learn from them also. Okay. Yeah. So you started the newsletter thing first, right? The cafe, because you have 4 issues of the newspaper.
That came later. We have a shop. So when I sold my business to Fallon, and Fallon only because I sold it because my 2 friends wanted me to join them when they started Fallon Singapore. It's a US-based agency. So when they started Fallon, so they bought my company and renamed it as Duffy Design, which is following the US. So okay lah, why not? So I sold the company and Jane got bought out quickly after that. And then
why don't you ask them to just join you instead of you?
Fallon is a huge agency.
No, like your 2 friends to join you lah.
No, because they are advertising. They are advertising, so their life is entwined with advertising, and so one is a copywriter, one is they were not going to, because mine is a design studio. It's quite different,
But you thought, that's true lah. And then how can you tell, more details on like the buying process, like due diligence, accountants, and all that?
Yeah.
How's that process look like for a design agency?
I think you look at your numbers and then you can look at multiplier. So, but end of the day, all this bullshit lah. Whatever, if they want you, you just name a price. If you want, they'll pay for you. Yeah, if you
So
don't want,
they're buying headcount lah, or they're buying your clients.
they are buying my expertise because they wanted a design studio together with the ad agency. Because in the US they have Fallon and they have Duffy.
Right.
So they wanted this capability from day one. So then Kelvin, who's a friend of Kelvin was my partner.
Kelvin was a partner?
Kelvin ran Fallon.
Well, you two look alike as well.
So Kelvin ran Fallon, and then Yang, who is my buddy, he was the art director. So both of them are their writer and copywriter and art director. And
You just
designer.
So did he propose to you a price, or you proposed to him?
It's not him. I dealt with the US now. He just told the US guy, say, I want Chris, so get him. So then we did this, and then for 3 years we were playing lah. 3 of us. Can you imagine? Not much work got done. You know, we were playing ping pong. We were doing all sorts of stupid things in the office. So
I'm sure you made enough to keep the lights on.
So after that, when US something happened in the US, so Fallon and Duffy fell out. So they had a thing. So we couldn't be named Duffy anymore. We have to be called Fallon, which Fallon doesn't have a design company, right? So then I suggest just let me go, and they say, okay, sorry, we screwed up our relationship. You can walk away scot free.
For free. So you didn't even buy back?
No.
Oh,
I just walk away.
Wow, that's great.
Good luck, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's really, yeah.
And that was during SARS, so it was the worst period. The 2 years that SARS happened, we were in the red for the first time. I was protected by Fallon.
Oh.
Yeah, 03, 04.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's really good. Yeah.
And then as when I came out again, I said, okay, what do I want to do? Then we started the Asylum Shop together with the studio at Anxiang. That's when we had a shop, and we were selling music, books, and fashion, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about the shop a little bit, and because I was noting on the newsletter thing.
That came later, though.
Oh, that after the shop, right?
Yeah, after the shop. It came later.
Interesting.
That came later, yeah.
So you already know, like, when you come out, you're like, okay, the shop, we're going to have a shop.
We need to do something a bit more exciting to the retail landscape. I wanted to, because retail was very boring. There was no Haji, nothing. All these malls and all these brands. So I wanted a shop that would sell inspiration, right? So it's stupid, but we did that. We sell all sorts of nonsense like products and books. And we have a lot of talks. Artists will come and do talks. Musicians will come and play in our shop. So it was really a lively, kind of live wire space for people to connect. And we met all these, the community through that space.
Oh, wow.
So it was a good period when we had that shop.
Yeah. How long did it last at the shop?
About 5 years.
5 years. Yeah. And like then when you move out at the time, the branding clients you left with you.
Yes.
Samla, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, they do that, and then you also have this shop thing. So that one stabilized the business. Yeah. And then the shop thing.
The shop was great because you don't have to worry about renter, right? Basically, it's covered by the studio.
Yeah.
And I could do whatever I want. So we will bring artists in, we'll do, whatever lah. Basically, I started a music label there, so we could design CD cover, because I never got to design when I was a kid, right? So, okay, let's do CD cover and stuff like that. So it was that period that we had that spurt of creativity, I guess, during that period lah. Yeah, it was fun.
Fred Perry came up on that as well, right? So, and so the newsletter only come after the shop, is that? Or during the shop?
Right about the time where but maybe at the end of our shop, where, in those days, like IS Magazine and Juice were in all the cool cafe period. So we said, wow, what we do actually affects a lot of people, like cafes and restaurants. Why don't we do it? And then I knew all these guys from all the, so I said, hey, let me put my newsletter in your shop lah. So every cafe you go, you will see our newsletter, and people just pick it up, right? Like it's
like it's a newspaper. It looks like a newspaper,
like IS or whatever. Basically, you just read for fun, right?
Yeah.
And that, I think, got us out lah. I think a lot more.
Yeah. And because you only did 4 issues, right? The news, and so every quarter, kind of. And then the book came after, no?
But we had one book before and one book after.
Well, the white book was before already, is it? The one with a lot of pins.
That was That was after.
That was after. Oh, there's another book before the white book. So there's 3 books.
No, there's 2 books.
The grey, because now there's
the grey.
Oh, the grey is before the white book. White
No,
book.
the white book first. Sorry, white book first.
White book is right.
White book, we did it around 2010. Yeah. And then the grey was our 20th anniversary.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Correct. So the grey one.
Yeah.
The website, because I was thinking of marketing for studios in general, right? Back then, there was like nothing, right?
We had a great website. We had a website that was all rubbish. You go to the website, you go like, you have no idea what the hell these guys do, right? They go half the time, they go like, okay, what is this? So it's all full of rubbish.
It was like some flies following the mouse.
Yeah. And then you click, and then you go, I don't know, you spend half an hour, you don't know what's going on, but you'll be entertained.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, yeah. And then after that, we start to, and also in our early days, our name card was a booklet, like a discount booklet where you can, I meant multiple pages, thread sewn.
Oh.
And then, so it's always kind of fun when we were young. We were quite irreverent. Basically, we just want to take a piece out of everything, right? Just make it like, what can you do? They just do everything. And then slowly, then we became mainstream in a way that we felt that, okay, maybe, when you have a lot of fun already, suddenly you want to be, okay, let's try to be serious for a while. I see whether that works or not. Because the name is already crazy enough. So you don't need to be shouting, crazy all the time. Yeah, we used to do all sorts of stupid things like Christmas. We would give people we send to people like old lamps or something like that. Yeah, just do silly stuff. And the shop was good because we could do our own products. We did a whole bunch of notebooks that were silly, basically all very smart, intellectual. Yeah, and then we didn't know we sold out all 5,000 books.
Really?
Yeah, and people wanted to do reprint, but we said, I think it's enough. We had fun. Right? Let's move on to something else.
The transition from fun to serious, was it also packed to the awards thing, or that sort of?
I think it's the maturity of the studio. I think it's this end of the day. It's the maturity of the studio. It wasn't packed to the awards, and it just slowly, you just become more less crazy, I guess.
Less crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I think when you started, you want to shout out to the world. After a while, you become a bit more confident. And say, okay, you don't have to be so loud anymore. You're still who you are, but you don't have to be shouting crazy all the time.
Yeah. Do you think it's kind of the same where young designers always wear really, really cool things? Then I see old designers, they're like, I just wear one t-shirt, and one jeans.
No that one cannot Sloppy cannot I think you
not a nice t-shirt
Yeah. I mean you shout less I guess, or you're more assured, so you don't need to be so out there all the time. Right? Yeah.
After the book and the shop, and then there's the newsletter and the cafe and 4 issues, and then that transited to emails already. Is that what it is?
No, email was before that. When we had a shop, we had email.
Oh,
so the shop
together.
Yeah, together, because we would talk about new products that we bring in, and then we talk about new projects. We were kind of very entwined to the whole lifestyle thing. So you would read our newsletter, you're like, is this about the shop bringing a new fashion, or is it about Asylum's work? We put all into one, right? So you'll be entertaining for you to read. Right. So you read about Comme des Garçons, then you read about, we have this thing, project that we finish, we basically mix it all together.
That's very cool. At least the person who's reading don't feel like it's a sales.
It's not about sales.
Yeah.
It's about more interesting stuff that we put together. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was talking to some of the boys saying, Instagram. How come? They were confused. Yeah. Why? I think only 1-2 years only, right? Instagram.
No, we switched our Instagram.
Oh.
Because before that it was my account.
Yes.
Right? And then I start to... Basically, initially, even the Instagram was kind of meant to be what inspires me or whatever when I travel, because I travel a lot. Whatever I see interesting, I just post. And then I realized, okay, these days I'm also posting a lot less. But then, as a company, the company will suffer because I'm less active, right? So then we switched to a proper account where we show projects and all that. Maybe less interesting, but I felt that I didn't want my personal... whatever that was happening to me personal to affect the company. It shouldn't be anyway. Yeah. But in the beginning, it was like that because nobody wanted to do Instagram. I was like, okay, I just signed up an account, and that became the company account, which it wasn't meant to be. Yeah. But it became like that, Yeah.
Well, I guess back then you and the company is a lot closer than now, and the more team and all that, right?
Yeah, I think it's important that I step away lah. Because the company is definitely more than just me, right?
You run, I mean, the shop, and then there's after you move out of Fifth Avenue, shoe repair, labels,
chocolate business.
So my question is, I guess, for designers, for studio owners who have never touched business before, as deeply as you, what, would they miss out or wouldn't consider that you do lah?
I think every designer should own a business, because otherwise you cannot talk business. When clients come to you, you talk about colors, you talk about font. But when you understand business, you talk at a deeper level, how your design can transform the business. Whereas if you don't own the business, which is why a lot of clients come to designers, they go like, hey, you are giving me just offering of colors and font. And as a client, how do I know whether it works or not? You don't have the insight to tell me why you're doing this. But as a business owner, I can tell you why this will work, because through my experience, I can tell you, I can back up with what we do. So I feel it's important for graphic designers, because you are designing for businesses. How can you not understand business? I think it's important that they understand businesses.
Will you say that what they missed out is sort of like how the relationship of design and business can synergize?
Yeah. And also see how much design can impact certain businesses. Some is actually quite minor. Some is really major. So they have to understand, okay, in this instance, how much can your design impact the business? I think, and how do you then approach the project?
So what would be an example of like designing impacting business by a lot?
I think for certain industries like fashion, like products, things that are itself already has high design value, like hotels, things that have high design value, like river restaurants. When you go in, the space plays a big part of the consuming of that product. Whereas certain products like I don't know, bubble tea, if it's a great bubble tea, the design looks good, but it's not a major
selling point
that people go just because of the design.
It just needs to be not that bad.
It needs to be relevant to what you want to sell. I think
and so on this sort of business angle thing, you saw many businesses come and go. You yourself also have experienced that. What was the hardest sort of project business you had to sort of let go?
I think to me the most difficult one to let go was definitely the chocolate business, because we started out with a great hit. Obviously we didn't have the production, so I had to go to a company that made confectionaries for hotels, and we told them that we wanted to do this. So they had a chef, so they provided everything to us. So we started the brand, started the shop, and it went crazy. We had like 30 countries that wanted to franchise.
Can you put some numbers behind like the sales revenue and all that?
The first shop that we had, I think by the end of first year, we were making a few 100,000 profit already.
Like 300? 500. Okay.
But it was a good profit, enough for us to open the next shop and the next shop. So we opened up 3 shops.
That's
in Singapore, and then we opened up in Shanghai even.
Wow.
Because we were going to try. Then we learned a lot of things. First things, because if you do not, we thought that brand could solve everything. As designer, we thought, great brand, great product. Obviously, that is like winner. Then we realized, okay, if you don't have the production backing you up, you have a lot of issues. When when food safety, when the food turns rancid, people complain. You tell them they're not vested. But we were them kanchiong, right? Everything not working. Then we realized, then we told the owner, I said, why don't we do a joint venture, new company, so that you are vested like me in this? And they get like, oh no, that's not our priority. We just want to provide. So then we know we had a problem already. So, and then whatever that was selling well, they will rate. So when we started at one bar, the cost of one bar was 160. We were selling at about 7. Yeah. It went up to about 450 at the end of 2 years, because they say, oh, ingredients are expensive today, and so they just come. They
hold you hostage.
Yeah, you literally have nobody else to turn to, right? So I spoke to EDB, and they were like, "We like your brand. It's making Singapore
Is there
good."
no other
I went to Hong Kong to look for even chocolatiers.
Godiva, I don't know.
They won't do for us lah. We are too small, right? There are a lot of big chocolate factories that they will not do OEM for you.
Oh.
So and then plus we had 100 flavors, which is fun, but it was stupid, right? Nobody could manage 100 flavors. So in the end, I had to close it down because it wasn't going anywhere. I told him do JV. He said not interested.
So you tried all the avenues really,
No, we spoke to
even
Pang, Pang who owns Antoinette, and now he's so he was a chef. So he was a dessert chef. Canale, and he was saying, if you want to do this seriously, you have to start your own chocolate factory. So find a factory space. He will help me invest. So we need to put in another 400,000. I need to do this thing, buy machine, all that. And that was when I go, okay lah, I'm a designer. I'm not really Wonka. Do I want to get so serious into it?
Oh.
And we decided not to lah. So we closed it off.
Wow. And was it hard for you to make that decision? You didn't want to this is successful,
Yeah, it was good. That's why I think it was a good project. I would have been happy to really, expand and make it global. But so we learn. So actually, branding is not everything. At the end of the day, you need to have everything. Yeah? Your business have to be sound.
Yeah.
If your business is not sound, it's
But why didn't you want to sort of double down? Because it's still a cash cow.
I had Fred Perry, I had Asylum, right? I already have 2-day jobs, and then do I want to be a chocolatier? I thought maybe it was fun, but I don't really want to do that.
But you could just get, a punk to hey, you invest lah, and then you set up the factory, then you half.
Yeah, but no, he wasn't interested. He was doing his own thing then. Antoinette was just picking up, from Canale to Antoinette. So.
Right, I guess you didn't find, wow. Were you then also very tired because of running 3 companies?
I don't know. I'm always very enthusiastic. It's just that I realized it's time to cut loss. I just cut lah. No point harping over it.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have any other business, I would really go all in on that.
Oh, because the other 2 was doing okay. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was happy. I was comfortable. Then I thought, okay lah, let's not do another crazy thing Too bad. It was fun.
Yeah. I mean, along the lines with this also Fifth Avenue and the rest of the other.
That was part of Fred Perry, and part in the whole Fred Perry business where we tried to find new brands. We spoke to Acne. We spoke to even Hong Kong IT and all this. So a lot of the brands that we spoke to, in the end, we were lucky we didn't do because fashion is so difficult. We were lucky that we lucked out on, again, Fred Perry, which is a great brand, and we do well. But a lot of fashion brands, so Fifth Avenue, the principal became insolvent. So we had to close because even they were asking us to invest in them. And it's I was I only want to open shop for you. I don't want to get involved in your business.
Oh.
So fashion is really quite difficult.
Yeah.
Especially you are mid-tier range, right? I mean, now these days, you either luxury or you are mass. You cannot be
in the middle.
I remember it's difficult. Like APC, like Acne, all these brands, I think it's tough lah.
Your latest venture, Artifactt, selling plates and bowls at Palais Renaissance. I assume rent is not the cheapest of all the places you could have set up a shop. So, what do people miss out that you saw about selling plates and bowls?
Well, this is actually this came quite organically. It wasn't my idea. Obviously, because we did a project with the Kanto government, Japanese government, who brought us to Kanto region to see all the craftsmen, and we were doing projects to try to revitalize all the Japanese craft. So in that trip, we saw so many amazing, amazing stuff that the Japanese are good at. So I came back, and then my wife, she did her MBA, and she was looking for something to embark on. She finished already, want to change the world. So she said, I want to do this lah. So she wanted to do this. I said, okay, I already have this connection. And I think it's something that we love. It's something that is part of design and what we do. And we design a lot of restaurants, so now we can also pick tableware and all that stuff. It's quite relatable. So then we jump on it without thinking too much.
Oh,
Yeah.
but then like of all places to rent, Palais Renaissance, you know.
Palais Renaissance, I think to me is we needed a showroom because a lot of our customers are trade, restaurants. So we actually started online store for a good maybe 7, 8 months.
Oh,
But everybody who came to us said we wanted to see the products, we want to feel. So we needed a place. And actually, Palais is not that expensive.
Is it?
In the scheme of things, it's not that expensive because malls are charged by footfall. If you open Ion, you'll pay 3 times more.
right. But
Palais-
you could also open at, I don't know, like a shop house, you know, at Geylang, at, you know, Chinatown next to Xiaohuat.
Yes, we could.
Yeah.
But anyway, my wife selected that place.
Oh, okay.
To me, it's okay. And to me, because we just needed a place for people who wanted to see the products to go. And that is good because the right kind of clients go to that mall. So
Right.
when they go and eat their lunch, they come, and then they start to buy. So it's...
Yeah, the Merci Marcel and all that, they're there, right?
There is a good resurgence, that mall. So
Yeah, actually. And then has it broke even? Is it?
It's made money from day one, so it's not losing money for sure. But the problem with that business is we keep reinvesting in it.
Eh?
Yeah, you
Why not?
buy more products. Every time we go on holiday, we find new potters. Wow, so good. Buy. We went to New Zealand, we found new potters. We went to Copenhagen recently, amazing stuff. So we keep buying.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you don't just like do stockists and then
No, it's not like furniture where you buy one showpiece.
yeah.
And then people buy plates, they cannot wait 3 months, right? I mean, you want it now.
Oh.
So we keep buying and reinvesting into it. Yeah, it's not furniture is a different business because it's all wholesale. Well, furniture you just need one piece showroom.
Yeah.
Then you sell the hell of it. People wait 3 months for it.
So you almost are running a sort of retail experience shop business. In some sense, is people buy it because of your taste. It's a curation business.
I think it stemmed out from us traveling and always buying things when we are away. Like, how can we find nice plates? When we go to Japan, and then it's very cumbersome to bring plates back. If you're overseas, so we thought, okay we do this.
But then you might run the risk of like there's one batch that nobody wants to.
Of course, then we do sale. It's okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, can't win all the time, but I think as long as everything that we bring in is according to the same spirit, I think it's fine. Artisanal projects are artisanal projects, so yeah.
No, but also it broke even, which is like, good luck.
No, it will be making money. It's just that we just keep reinvesting it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't see any profit if you keep reinvesting.
Well, I mean, if you stop your sales volume, you can lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we keep seeing new things that we like. It's like, this is great. This
Okay. So I heard from someone, and leaving the name innocent aside, that there's a F&B project that you've done. The project is done already. You got paid already. And you're invited to the place, and the whole team was there. And then something happened. And then there was a passionate conversation, and then the whole team left. Did that happen or?
What project in particular?
I don't know the project specifically, but it was under the context of there was opening night, and then I think the client said something, and then you gave it to the client.
I gave it to the client.
Yeah, and then you all walk out of the.
No lah. Recently?
No, not recently lah. Long time ago. Yeah, long time ago.
Long time ago, I would have done something like that, but I can't remember specifically which F&B client.
Yeah. But you would have done something. This is like you. There was a few.
Oh no. Okay. I think you're talking about this project recently. The F&B client, we didn't left lah. Basically, we just stopped working with them. They were being abusive to our guys lah. So then we just say, okay lah, maybe we stop the project, terminate the project. It's not like a show all competition.
No. This one is finished already. You got paid already. And opening night, and the team was there to enjoy the whatever lah. And then you gave it. You and I think it's years before lah.
Opening night, we were there and we walked out.
You after the conversation, you walked out. Of course, everyone follow you.
So steady.
You didn't.
I don't remember.
Okay.
If you can tell me the project, I remember, but
Yeah, but it's
okay, you can tell me.
Shireen Days lah.
F&B. No F&B.
Might be a bar, might be a or okay, never mind. Yeah.
I'm old, man. Shit.
But you would have you imagine yourself doing that lah.
Of course, I fired clients a lot of times. Sometimes it's unwillingly, like I through email chains, I didn't know the client was in there. I reply like, what? The client was in CC in there. I'm like, oh shit. And then the client go like, wow, why is Chris so angry? Oh no, it's just internal. I didn't know. A few times, so Bisha is very worried every time. Before you send an email, please make sure that it's not internal. Make sure it's internal and not. Sometimes the clients are in the whole loop, right? And then like rattle off nonsense. Like,
but what would be certain reasons of why you were
you cannot be rude to. You cannot treat the guys badly, lah. I think there are some clients that are just bad. They behave badly, right? They think whatever, they treat you like dirt, then they put you down or whatever. Basically, I do not take bad behavior.
Right.
That is usually the case.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's no reason. Most clients are nice. I mean, even though some clients are really nice, but they are fickle-minded, so they keep changing. Okay, we just have to change lah. But there's no. I will not get upset. Right? You just okay. Then we need to guide them a bit. But unless they are really bad and rude or whatever, there was this client that. This project, okay, they were sent to us to redesign, and we promised in 2 weeks' time that we will show him the first concept. 3 days later, he called my mobile phone. They said, "Oh, Chris, I'm back this Friday, which is 2 days, so it's like a week before that. Can I see your work?" I said, "Oh, it's meant to be 2 weeks from now, so it's in the process, so we'll have to wait because I have to do internal my team. If I ask my guys, they will show it to me by Friday." He said that. I said, then take it in-house and fly off the phone. Then I just send everything back to him. Don't waste time, right? I mean, if you're so unreasonable, don't. But this guy is now a billionaire, so what can I have to say, right? It's okay. But so basically, yeah, I mean, you cannot be unreasonable. If you're unreasonable, or like clients that call you on Friday and say, can you show me 3 concepts by Monday? I say, are you working on weekend? No, then we are not working hard. You cannot expect us to do what you don't want to do, right? Then we say, sorry, we can't show on Monday.
And then the how do you figure out the costing and all that? Do you refund or how?
Yeah, we terminate the project. Usually, no, if they want to continue with what we have done already, they like it, they can continue lah. They can get somebody to finish it or whatever lah. Yeah, if there's need to we refund projects also, it's okay. We can refund, doesn't matter. Won't die lah, okay.
I mean, you won't die lah.
No lah, everybody. I feel once you let people take advantage of you, it's bad. Especially your guys, right? They are looking up to you to defend for them, and then you just say, just take it. And most of the time, if you're not there, they treat your guys badly, right? Because when I'm there, they don't dare to do that. When I'm not there, then they start to do all sorts of silly things, right? Then I get angry,
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, now that we talk about anger a little bit, I mean, you don't strike me as an angry person.
No.
Right?
Interestingly, I don't think I've shouted in the workplace before.
Yeah.
Except for one time where we had this manager that was stealing stuff. It was not for Asylum. It was not for Asylum. So Asylum, I don't think I've ever shouted or raised my voice.
And so like,
there's no need to, I mean, what we're doing.
And so the guy must be really stepping on your toes for you to be firing or him lah.
No, yeah, he was stealing from the shop and he was still trying to deny. That got me like, okay, but other than that, no.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why people can work with me for so long lah. I don't scream at people.
Fred Perry, huge success. At one point, 15 stores around Asia-Pac. What do you saw with Fred Perry that people like miss? Because again, it's just a polo tee.
Yeah, I think right about the time when we started the Asylum store again, I saw the resurgence of the brand. I think they came back. Before that, like a lot of the sports brand, they went into licensing, which means Indonesia, Vietnam, anybody can produce and just stamp their logo on it. So I saw that they were changing. They took back all their old licensing deals. Then I saw them working with Comme des Garçons to do a collaboration. So I thought, okay, there's something there. And we tried out by bringing them to the Asylum shop. And each time we bring in like wiped out, every piece was like everybody was calling us for more, right? So I thought, okay, maybe there's some business thing there which I didn't realize. So I went to London and I spoke to the MD. I said, maybe I should open a shop for you in Shanghai. Because I was going to Shanghai a lot and I was dating my wife then. And I said, I got nothing to do in Shanghai. So can I open a shop for you in Shanghai? Like, oh yeah, you're based in Singapore. So why don't you do Singapore? And then I thought, okay. So I opened the shop opposite my Asylum Shop, right? So I can manage. So it's how it started, very organically. And the manager that I hired was the manager at Paul Smith that I used to buy clothes from, right? And he's the guy that Alan, and we have a good friendship. I said, hey, come and join me from Club 21. So then we started the shop. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I guess it feels like it grew, it's like pretty organic in that sense, right?
Totally organic. Yeah.
What is the deal structure like for people who are, or do you learn something different?
That's a 50-50 partnership.
Okay. So profit split 50-50.
Yes. 50-50 partnership. And the partnership is a friend of mine that wanted to work business with me but has no interest in running it. So basically he said he want to do something with me. And I said, I have this business for Perry. If you want to do this, let's do it together.
That's the amethyst, right?
Yeah. Handshake. This is really bad, but it's handshake. And it's worked out well all these years. Yeah. It's because I know that he was a laid back guy. And he wasn't he basically said, you run the business. I just want to be involved in some way.
So what he do?
He can take clothes. Every season he go and pick clothes to wear.
Wait, so but then like his involvement, did he put up capital up front or? Oh, okay.
He put up capital 100% up front.
Oh,
so
right.
I had the rights to the brand. I had everything else. He just want to join. So he put capital up front and we had 50-50 partnership.
Okay. That makes sense. And then what about your deal with Fred Perry side, MD side?
No, so basically we have the rights to run Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. Also organically, we grew from Singapore. Then we said, well, we can do Malaysia. Then we did Malaysia, and then let's do Indonesia. We did Indonesia.
Right.
Organically, just grew.
And is this like normally for most standard brands where they say, oh, if you are a shop, then you can stock some of my clothes. But then for them, Fred Perry, I don't know if it's like, oh, I need like a main store, like the whole thing only can sell Fred Perry, not other.
No, actually, we were one of those earlier ones to transition. Fred Perry, like any old business in Europe, they are distributed to all the departmental stores. So there wasn't many standalone stores when we started. So when we started Anxiang, it was one of the early standalone stores. There were, of course, in London there was, in Covent Garden, all that. But around the world there weren't many. So in a way, we were pioneers that they see outside of London. These guys can still operate a shop and do it successfully. And that's why they were confident to give us in Malaysia, Indonesia. No way. Today is very difficult to get markets like that, exclusive markets. But those days we were able to, and because I'm a branding guy, I designed the shops. Because they didn't have a platform then. So I designed the shops and they liked the shops, so they took some of my design also to use for other countries.
Great.
But now, of course, now the brand is very established. So they have a lot of, they have a full team, they have guidelines and all that. But yeah, that's how we chance upon it.
And so then what's the risk you run? Just like rental costs and
it's crazy.
I know, of course.
During COVID, I died. I bled to death, basically. 3 years of, it was tough.
You didn't close any, man?
No. Wow. And we paid our staff. In Malaysia, we had all this. Singapore was great because we have assistance from government, right? So they try to defray our time. In Malaysia, nothing. They just say, you're on your own.
So you never how come why do you want to keep the store running through COVID? Because you can close and then you start again after the COVID.
I don't think you can, or it's good for the brand to do something like that. I don't know. We were just trying to ride it through. I don't think you can just close everything and then open. It's not good for the brand for sure. Right? I don't know what London would feel if we just close all the shops.
But I'm sure they will understand also because COVID.
I don't know.
Oh, is it?
Anyway, we didn't want to go near that. We just kept it going.
Okay.
Now it's good again, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We can all breathe a little.
Yeah. Okay. So we move on to managing creative people.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel good? Need a break? Anything? Okay.
Good.
I mentioned when designer comes in, you know how long they're gonna give you.
When designers come, yeah, of course. I think in every person that works for me, I need to find out what's their motivation factor, right? So for young designers, they come here, they want a great portfolio. And it's from day one, it's like that. And guys like Edwin, like Young, I know they all will eventually want to do their own thing, right? If they're good. So they come here in that 3 years, they give their best, they get a great portfolio, then they can move on to something bigger. So to me, it's very clear. And then so the guys that I have are pillars that I established long time ago, that these are people that are indispensable to Asylum.
Yeah.
Like Cara, like Michelle, and now Elaine's part of it. You know? So these are the people. Then we basically have the pillar that would hold the company. And then it's great to have young designers to come in and inject new blood, new thinking, and then they come and go lah. Yeah.
And so, how do you differentiate the pillars versus the ones that need to go? Do they say something differently, or they you talk to them and it's just honest lah?
Yeah, I always ask them, so what do you want to do after 5 years or 3 years? It's basically what you want. Right? If they say they just want to do good work or whatever, but if they say no, I want to do my own thing. Some people they already know, and they know I'm open to that. It's not like I keep all my secrets if you want to know that way. Right? So I say, okay, if you want to do your own thing, I'm happy that you can do your own thing. Just within the 3 years, give me your best work lah.
Right. And then
you motivate the pillars. What do they look for long term, right?
Yeah.
Stability. They look for financial. It has to be rewarding financially. Yeah. Yes. You want to have family in the end.
Yeah.
So you have to build in those things that they feel that as they contribute, they take part of the reward. So they're all on profit sharing.
Yeah.
So over 35% of my company is given away.
Yeah.
And we're always looking for new people to bring in. And then I'm happy to share more. It doesn't matter, I think. Yeah.
How are you thinking about the percentage of the company and the percentage of profit sharing for each one? Like, is there a sort of rough, loose model that you have, or?
No, I mean, of course, best way is to have equal. But it doesn't work that way because different time.
Yeah.
I think it's during that period where they join and they become maybe partners. It's different. So yeah, they're all different anyway.
Correct.
Yeah. But generally they are not that far away as well. Yeah, because they all contribute an important part of it. And also if they don't contribute enough, then you don't think they should be partner anyway. So once they become partner, I think they are already there, right? There has to be a percentage that makes them happy lah.
So I mean, but then if you I'm making a partner, but I give 3%. Then what the hell?
It depends. If it's 1% of 100 million, it's okay.
That's true.
So it really depends. At the end of the day,
all the costs,
it depends on their salary and their profit sharing on a good year. How much is it? If it's only 1 more month, then they go, hey, dude, this is all bullshit lah. Right. If it's on a good year, your profit sharing should be at least a year of your bonus. Then they go, okay, motivated, right? In bad year, maybe 2 months, 3 months, but good year, it has to
make sense.
Way. Yeah.
Right. Oh,
so they feel that we are all working hard. Then end of the day, it's not just me going on holiday, right? Everybody can go holiday. End of the day, it's like, hey, why only Chris go away every year?
Okay. I never thought about it in terms of monthly salary. That's a good rough gauge to think.
How much share they get lah?
Yeah. And then how much share? How does the shares determine also like the direction of the company, or no? Just the financial.
Doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Okay. There was one ex-employee that were leaving, and then you gave him to him straight, which I appreciate, by the way, saying, hey, you're not Pentagram level. But the below one, you can go start a studio.
Sorry, I told the staff.
Yeah, you told
it's not Pentagram level.
Yeah. But you go UK, you I'm sure you can work for any of these studios below lah. Pentagram.
I said that.
You don't remember?
Wow.
No, but he appreciate. He appreciate.
Okay.
So I think the question is then what makes Pentagram so special, and also how do you different or stacks up to Pentagram, like Asylum?
Definitely we are not like Pentagram lah. Pentagram is really based on all the partners having equal share. and even different disciplines. So they draw the same salary and they are made to contribute in the same way. And then end of the year, they probably get dividends and they get shared as partners. So if you are invited as a partner, and after 2-3 years, if you're not pulling your own weight, then you will feel stressed. Then you will get out eventually, right? So, but it's something that worked really well for them through the years. I'm not sure how is it now. But we are not like that. We don't have different key disciplines. We are still under. If you ask me, I'm one of the partners in Pentagram.
Yeah.
It's not that the whole company is Pentagram. We are definitely not that strong in the sense that if somebody retires, somebody can take over. But there are like 20, 30 partners. So if one wants to go, then you basically do not own part of the company. It becomes part of, it's like a law firm, right? Once you leave, you're nothing.
And their work, right? Like Pentagram work, like to you, what makes, why are they good? Why are they respectable?
I think not just it's not about the key people in there. I mean, they are made out of personalities, but actually as a collective, they are really a case of, as a collective, they are stronger than individual. Right? They really look at the body of work, wow, but then actually it's really everybody have to pull their weight.
Right.
In terms of financial, in terms of portfolio, in terms of everything else. But if you look at one person, maybe it's not that interesting.
And it makes sense for them to come together because then 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah. Yeah, they tackle big projects like airports and whatever. So, and I feel it's important to have that. You know, when we started Asylum, it was not my intention, but we knew it was important that we have to be of that scale to take on bigger projects, so that when people leave Asylum, we won't be fighting the same pool. Otherwise, it's too small.
Yeah.
Right, then I'll be fighting with Yo and Edwin and all. So we all then then as we grow further, it's even more difficult for us because our costs go up. So eventually we always need to find projects that we can take on a bigger scale. And then everybody kind of find projects that they can, uplift ourselves. So that we find projects regionally. And then hopefully they can find some space here to do some work, and then they can do regionally or something like that,
Then you do international, right? Then
yeah, otherwise it's very difficult. It's the same small pool, right? And then, yeah.
One of your employees who left, who quit, and then you gave him the blessing for. There was a company trip planned up to Italy, and you invited him on board. And the trip was after he left, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is it really about good PR, or why? Because he could save a bunch of money.
He contributed to that year. Our trip is based on what happened the year, ma. Do you know what I mean? So if you contribute to that year, and then just because you quit now or say you don't go with us, to me it's not fair. Because it's like bonus. To me it's the same thing. When you work for a full year, you deserve a bonus whether you want tender now or not. Your bonus is for last year, right? So to me, yeah. And to me also about chemistry, right? He's great with the rest of the team. We go there and drink beer together, it's happy, life is short. Yeah, I think it's about chemistry.
Yeah. And have you always been so generous in that sense? I mean, you say it's fair, but
ask people, you cannot ask me, right?
No, yeah.
To me, I have a certain way I think we should behave.
Right.
In terms of being a boss or being a colleague or being a design company. So I feel I don't believe in people living in bad terms. So some bosses like that. Anybody, you're so tight. Once you leave, enemy, right? And some people are like enemy. Yeah, but for me, no. I think everybody contributed to who I am today, to the company. So everybody played a part in there. So there shouldn't be animosity. Yeah, if they are great, they want to be their own, you should be happy for them. Why will you stop people from doing their own thing? That I don't get, okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're fighting in the same pie and then they go out and you get less of a pie, then...
So then it's your own insecurity. It's not about, right? It's your own insecurity that you want to then make people, push people down.
Yeah.
To me, it's okay.
Yeah. And, yeah. This company trips that you go on...
Not every year.
Yeah, fair.
Only when we make money.
Yeah.
But it had been good. I guess when we went to places that we wondered why we went, like Auckland one year. We're like, huh? Well, we end up in Auckland. We just wanted to go places that we don't usually go.
Yeah, but you know, you could have saved the money and just, you know, pocket it or give people more salary or bonus or whatever,
I think
right?
in the beginning I wanted, because I've been very fortunate through my work to travel a lot, and I wanted people to see, because when, you know, today, for example, if you talk about designers, you have to design a 5-star luxury hotel, but if you never stay in one, how do you design? You cannot understand the detailing that goes into it, or the psyche of somebody staying there. Or if you design a retail store, right? If you've never gone shopping and don't see anything, it's very difficult. So for me, initially, was really, I found places that were exciting, that they could, for sure, Japan was one of those. We went to Tokyo, went to Kyoto, different trips. They could see, wow, a retail experience is like that. You know, a restaurant is like that. So to me, it was important to open up. You know, and then we usually used to go based on like maybe one design conference, then we can still attend the conference, something like that. So it was, it wasn't just go for holiday, you know, it was...
Right. But you feel that the money was more well spent than just giving them cash, lah?
I think so. I mean, they would have gotten, I thought they, at that age, they would enjoy a trip more, lah. And nobody said no. Nobody said, hey, give me the cash.
Yeah. No, but it's the decision you make upfront, lah, right? Yeah.
Oh, I think they
because
got...
some bosses would have just give the cash, you know.
No, they got bonus as well.
Oh yeah.
Of course, you want is how much money you give, lah.
Right,
yeah.
But because it's also off work, if you go holiday, the studio closed,
Yeah.
So
it was good. I think we get to know each other better. It's more fun. Even though I think, so as years pass, people move jobs more frequently these days, right? So it's harder. Before that, like, people would stay, at least you stay for 2-3 years. You know, that is okay. But now it's like, oh, you join, we go holiday, hey, you quit. Hey, I happened here.
Yeah. So for designers, the new designers come in that you mentioned that they really want awards and stuff, then you don't want awards already. How do you balance that?
I think the kids, actually, the join also don't talk about awards anymore.
Oh, now don't know.
They just want to do nice work, I think. Yeah, I don't think awards is that important in a lot of their mind.
Right, so it's like portfolio,
nice work, still out there, people know what they're doing, you know, I think that's important.
With years of managing them, creative people, like, how do they think differently, or how, you know, do you manage differently with a suit and a creative, like, yeah?
I think the motivation for designers are quite easy if you know what they want, because all of them, I think they are the best designer, right? Basically. So you need to give them a space that they can flex their work. And then once they can do that, obviously they feel that they are in. So I'm not the kind of boss that sit down and say, okay, I see your idea, okay, do this. You know, then they go like, okay, you know, what have I been doing, right? So basically, I will look at their work and I'll create a certain direction and then let them explore on their own. So I've never been a very micro person. And I say, okay, this is the thing, but maybe you just tweak and all. And so they feel that it's their work. And all of them are proud at the end of the day that the work is done by them. So they are motivated by different things. As long as they can do great work, and then yes. But if they feel that the work is crappy, the clients keep dictating, and I don't defend that, so it's important that the work that they do is being protected in a way, so we can sell the work. So if you do the best work but you can't get sold, it's also pointless. So my job is always there. I think in the first meeting with the client, to look at the brief and then shape the brief so that I know a great product can come in already. You know, you have to prime that. Otherwise, the brief is horrible. You know, the work is not going to be good, right? So I have to prime so that, okay, I know roughly it's going to be a good piece of work. Then, okay, I brief that they can do a good piece of work. Right. They can sell.
So what people don't do enough or don't see is that they don't do the priming of the brief. They don't see the vision after the brief when it's passed down. It's not great. So then at the start it's really shitty. And after that, when maybe if they have a good brief, they pass the team, then they direct too much. Then they don't feel ownership of their work. So these two big pieces. And
the last thing I think is to be able to pull out the work if you don't think it's right. So at any point. So sometimes you work with a client for 3 months and you know, ding dong, you're too close to it, right? So in the end, you just want to get it done. But then I would step in and I go like, this is not right. So at the last minute, I'll pull out. And I'll say, okay, we're not presenting this. Then Michelle, please tell the client, say, I don't agree that it's this, so let us redo again. So we have to restart the whole thing again. If timing is not crucial, of course, you're not opening the shop by Monday, I'm changing things on Sunday, right? But always be ready to pull out when you don't feel it's not right. I think that takes practice.
Yeah.
Because you are still into the process, you get caught into it, it's very hard to take yourself out already.
But so were you, was it easier for you to pull out because you're not like hands-on on the project?
Yes.
And what would justify some examples of projects that should be pulled out or ideas that should be pulled out?
Wow.
I mean, just ground with some examples or whatever.
Hard to think now, I think. But basically, I can tell in the process, there's a lot that you will just slowly ease into it and get trapped into a space where in the end, you know the outcome is not good, but because the conditions surround it made it like that. So then most people will just say, get it done, then tell people, this client, blah, blah, blah. Then you come up with an excuse why the work isn't good.
Yeah.
So for me, it's important to just recognize that it's not good already, that better pull out and tell the client, say, let us redo again or whatever. Yeah.
So in some sense, you have an internal compass or internal standard that you know what does good looks like for you.
Yeah.
Right? And then you know if it's going down a hill, maybe there's a bar, this is great, then this is good, then like in between here you can play around.
Yeah.
But if it's like sliding,
no.
then you're like, okay stop .
Let's stop it now before it goes any further.
Got it. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. And like, how do you manage the relationship with the client if that's the case?
Usually they appreciate. Because it's for the better, right? I tell them, actually, it's not good enough. It's not like not good enough, but we are trying more for you. We're going back and then restart again or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And then the billings, you didn't...
No, it's okay. Yeah, okay. End of the day, it's a product.
Yeah, but it only works if you do the premium thing, so you have buffer at the top, right? Because if you are super lean, then you cannot, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Super lean.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just charge, like hours, then you don't have a low buffer to like, okay, I'm going to put more hours into this.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And have that sort of pursuit of great, like never good enough, became problematic at any time?
I think so. Always.
Like how?
Our job is kind of like that. We are always constantly pursuing unhappiness. You're never happy. It's constantly trying to. Like for me, every project can be better, and even when it's done, it can still be better. It's a problem, but it is something that we always try to do better. You learn from this time, try to be better. Learn from it, and you always try to be better. There are many projects that I'm never happy at the end. Even Warehouse Hotel, I can say most proud, but there are so many things in there that I would have changed and given the chance to.
Interesting. And so then, like, if that's the case, how do you sort of overcame or reconcile or integrate it to be so chill?
No, I think at the end of the day, you have your own internalization, right? I mean, this is your standard, what you want in a project.
Yeah.
And certain things that I see, okay, if it's met everybody's expectation, they're like, but maybe I just felt it could be better. It's just me, right? I just want to make it better. I believe in the Japanese concept of Kaizen, where always improving, right? You just improve. It's now you cannot stop improving. You can always improve something.
Okay. So in some sense, there isn't the internal conflict of like, it's not good enough. Like, it never got to you lah. You just sort of like, okay, this is the timeline, based on the timeline and the budget and the resource. Yeah. This is the best I can.
You have to say that.
Although I know that it could be better with more time, blah 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 blah. But I draw the line here, and I think not gonna look back and just let's look forward.
Just move on. Yeah. Otherwise, you more time, more money, there's so many parameters that can change, right? Of course, you can do something. Yeah. But
yeah. If we move a little bit to some random family life part, I mean, I assume that you have quite a happy family life, child, romantic relationship with your wife. How much do you attribute to luck or like intentionality?
The kid is definitely luck, right? I mean, kid is kid.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the wife, then the wife.
I cannot make my kid. I cannot design my kid.
No, but you can set the environment, what?
Actually, for me, having a child is interesting experiment for me because I'm learning from a child in a way that now I can see how a child is really a genetic DNA of two person. Some can be stronger, some traits can be bigger, but so I deliberately, when he was born, I try not to influence him in terms of getting into design or art. Of course, when we travel, we go museum all the time, he will get exposed. But I don't buy things for him to, like, go that route. Creativity. But he has not gone to art class before. And today he's still not into. So, but he takes out stuff and he just sketches. Wow. Very kind of naturally he does that. And when he's bored, you give him a pen and paper and notebook, he can spend time on it. So that's very interesting. Because like, oh wow, I don't influence it, but you can see that in him.
Yeah.
And then his personality as well. So I said, okay, shit, that's very much like me. So some parts of it. Yeah. So it's quite funny, right?
Like what?
So trying to sneak away lah, try to tuang lah, eat snake lah, everything don't do, right? Give homework, don't do. You try to find ways, or he got his ways lah, and then he found out recently my password also, So I'm like, I know I would have done the same thing also. So now he know my password. He go and try out the birthday lah, So obviously like, hey, wow, he found my, so now I have to change, right? It's an interesting experiment to me. Everything is an experiment. It's amazing.
Wow. But because then he can parental control turn off, can use the screen.
Not there yet, but yeah.
Oh, not there yet. Okay,
yeah, I don't know how to set parental control. I'm not very good at it. So.
Okay, don't worry. Yeah.
But I think it's been a joy that I didn't expect. I think I didn't expect parenthood would give me so much joy.
Wow.
Given that before I was a crazy party guy.
Yeah.
I was going to zoo all the way until he was born, So even at 40, I was still going to zoo.
I remember
I was going crazy.
Confrontation that like, hey, don't post the photo, maybe.
We used to go parties all the time, right?
Wow.
So, yeah. So that has been a big surprise, a big positive surprise.
Yeah, and you sort of, because you enjoy it so much, you're like, okay, I just give up the zoo. Anyways, you're close, but you can go to another club, right?
No, yeah, I went to Sona this year, a music festival in Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
I felt amazing again. It's been so long, like, wow, music.
Yes.
Some things don't change, I guess.
What about your wife? Because I assume you dated a few people.
And she was introduced by somebody, a friend.
Yeah. But why like you say, okay, this one I will invest lah. I would stake my grounds on. Intuitive lah. Okay.
Intuitive. Okay. I think purity is important for me. Purity in terms of the mind. You need to be naive enough to believe in certain things. I feel in some sense, I'm still quite pure in a certain. I believe in certain thing, even though it can be stupid or naive. But I want to believe in it. So I think that's important.
Right. Yeah, I guess the things that you believe in have worked out, right? Because we have known people who have marriages that fall apart because they believe in it.
Yeah.
At some point.
But like the same thing as work, right? I mean, when I left my engineering school, everybody saying, "No, you should finish it because you should have a backup, something to back up."
Yeah.
Which comes to one of the questions that says, "What is the worst advice?" Isn't that having a backup plan? I feel you shouldn't have a backup plan. Then you always kind of 1 foot forward and 2 foot backwards. You're kind of like you want to go, you go all in. Right?
But you can. But I'm for challenging on that. I say you can go all in with a backup too.
That's not all in. No, if you know that there is a backup, that is not all in. Because you will not fight as hard if you know that. You know what I mean?
That's true. No, but also like if you don't have like safety net for your restaurant, 6 months run away, then you don't go in that.
No,
right?
But that's not backup lah. No, it's different. I'm saying backup plan. Like if I don't open a restaurant, I can still teach, or I can do. I can do.
Right.
Backup. It's not. Of course, your plan. You need to be sound. You cannot go in with no money. Of course, then it doesn't make sense, right? Right. I feel like before when I was doing engineering, I was like, you should get your engineering diploma. Then do whatever you want. But then I said, if I were to have more, I will not use it for anything else. I will go to become an engineer, which I suck at it.
Not waste time. Yeah.
Exactly. So I rather quit then even though it's already 2 years.
Yeah.
I rather quit then than finish it and then.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it's not the backup; it's a plan, lah. Yeah. I remember you told me about 3 months sabbatical in New York, 6 months.
Fantastic. Yes.
How? But I'm more interested in the story before the sabbatical. why then the sabbatical? Because it was not like planned for like 7 years. We're gonna go.
I
Yeah.
was feeling angry at work, I remember. I was just
how?
feeling angry because I come to work, I always solve problems, right? I mean, usually when it comes to me, it means got problem. Then if it's smooth, they don't need me, right? They're okay, Chris, everything okay. But once there's a problem, then I get involved.
Yeah.
Then I remember I was like, wow, my day is just filled with just problems.
Oh.
And I cannot find joy. You know, when you're a designer, you create things that you find joy, but suddenly you become problem solving. Right? Every day is just A, B, C, D. So I got quite down. And I thought, okay, I need a change in the environment. I felt that I couldn't just continue anymore. So yeah, and then I thought I always wanted to live in New York. I have been given the chance and then I missed it. So I said, okay, I'll pack up and go. And I told Michelle and Carla, I said, I'm going to New York. Don't email me, don't CC me unless somebody is in danger. Yeah, just leave me out of everything.
Right.
And I'm lucky enough that the two of them can really hold the fort, right? And which is good because then it feels that the company is not just me. So then I went 6 months and had the time of my life. And then I thought, wow, it's great. I must do a sabbatical every 10 years or something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, was it instantly great or and
Yes.
you just landed and you're just like,
yes. Yeah. And New York is a great city to be energized. And the art scene is amazing. I did nothing much but just drink a lot and go to art shows. And I learned how to play poker because my friend John Klang is a photographer based in New York. He said, hey, I bring you to go and play poker. So he gave me a book. I read a book on poker. I learned a new skill. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, skill future. Skill future. Yeah, I learned how to play poker in New York. So
that's great.
Yeah, I think it was really. I came back refreshed again. Yeah.
And like, did you? How come you moved from 3 months to 6 months or?
No, it was meant to be.
Okay.
And then as part of the trip, I went to Argentina. Buenos Aires and Chile.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any other? So that was the only sabbatical, or were there?
Yeah, I'm planning another one. It's a bit more difficult now that I have a kid, right? But so I'm planning to see if we can all uproot to Japan for a while.
I mean, if you need people who have done that, I can introduce you.
In Japan?
In Japan, they have done other countries, Europe and all that lah. So they bring the kid along.
Right.
Yeah. But just a couple of things to
School lah. School is so in June I'm going there for a month to seek out where to stay and school just to see how.
Talk to Yaling, she's there now.
She's there now?
Yeah, she's in. Yeah, they also 1 month to Don't talk to me, don't text me.
Yeah. I think it's something. Of course, you can afford to do it. The infrastructure within your work allows you to do it. I think it's great to just get out. Because people talk about traveling, it's not about traveling, it's about time alone, I think. It's important to have time alone, to then reflect and then look at what you do and see what's next, what you want to do for yourself.
Agree. Well, I mean, I guess, with that, and imagine if you're writing your book, My Life as a Disco Ball, what would be, how will you name your current chapter?
Current chapter?
Yeah.
My life there'll be a lot of blackout parts, I think.
Okay.
In the book, there'll be a lot of blackout parts. But now I think being at peace is important. I think I am at peace with what I do, what I've done. Interestingly, I've been feeling a bit like that since COVID. The idea of being at peace and just taking it as it comes. And people are saying, "Oh, are you ready to retire?" I was like, I don't know. Unless I feel that I need something exciting to get me excited again. So I'm thinking, okay, if I move to Japan, I can look into spaces and reconverting them and own part of it rather than just design as a tool for people. I want to own the programming or that. I think it's fun. So I need to find the next thing that would excite me.
And the name of the chapter?
Wow, the name of the chapter.
You're a naming guy, what?
Yeah, no, I'm not a copywriter though.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
That's a good book title, by the way. Yeah.
And then there was a writer who asked me to give a soundtrack of my life, which was very interesting. So I came out with 12 tracks.
Oh, okay.
Actually. Somewhere, yeah.
Okay,
I definitely can see myself in music because music has been with me from day one, from as a teenager to now. I'm still very into music. So I look at how to put my life in a 12 tracks.
Okay, then each track already got title already, what?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
Right now, Japan is coming up next. Is that also why you sort of been asking your staff about their retirement plan also?
Yes. No, I always ask between me, Michelle, and Kara, there's no secret, right? If they don't want to do this, I'm happy to say we should call it a day. But if they want to do it, let's continue to do it. Because we've been this for so long. We've worked together for 20 over years. It's a long time, almost 25 years. So to me, yeah, I see it as a family. If you want to do, we do together. If you're not interested, well, then yeah, I'm happy to say we've done. Then we can write the last chapter of our book.
Oh, the last chapter. No, yeah, that's also might be the next thing, or maybe the studio's book.
Yeah.
Right.
So I do ask them every few years. Hey, so are you happy? You want to retire now? They go like, huh? No lah, I still got my mortgage to pay. Okay, let's continue doing this.
Right.
I think retirement is really about moving around, for looking things that are interesting, inspiring to do.
Oh yeah, so my question was I was wondering how did you come to the peace with this thing that you have built, and just sort of like, okay, if we close off? How did you
Actually, one of the questions you were asking, what do I see people who are successful today, right? And basically, I find a lot of my friends who are successful are those who are very at ease with themselves. I think peace is very important. That you know who you are and you have your journey and what. So some people say, oh wow, don't you want to be a global blah blah blah? Not really. We have done what we can do and we have done what we have done. And we should be happy. And so what motivates me today is, okay, again, a few years ago, we talked about, okay, what is Asylum's mantra or reason of being, right? And we talked about, okay, the fact that we can make cities more lovable, exciting, what projects we create in cities make people feel, because design projects, at the end of the day, makes the city, the soft things about the city that people love to visit. So we are part of that, landscape and fabric. So to me, that is something that I'm happy, that I can wake up contributing to what we do to make a city more lovable by creating projects that are enjoyed by people.
How do you be so, how do you let it go? Like, because I mean, this is reputation, this is, portfolios that you built over the years, you can easily get the next client.
I think I think at the end of the day, it's important. What's important for me is I can be happy, and then I can see if I want to find something exciting, I will continue doing. If not, I'm really happy with whatever we've done.
And has that always been your sort of how you live your life?
I think so. Yeah, it's always about the journey. There's no end goal. So the journey is a great journey. Therefore, the people that we're with us, we are happy together. And then, so it's like going to a rave party, right? The whole experience is important. At the end of the day, when the sun comes up, you're happy. And then you're like...
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, because there are a few people who sort of were not living that way, and then they sort of moved to change to that way. So that's a clear sort of demarcation, the first life versus the second life, right? How you see life. But you have always been living that way.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have like a therapist. Have you seen a coach? Not like young people.
I have my wine. My wine. My wine is my therapist. Okay.
Young people these days, I need to go. Yeah. So your era is like just work hard, play hard.
Actually, it's not by choices, because when I started out, I mean, my dad was made a bankrupt just before I finished my school. So I have nothing, right? I start with nothing, and we work for companies, get savings, then we start our company. So when you start with nothing, you are able to walk away. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean, it depends. I feel like some people start with nothing but have a chip on their shoulder, right? So they are proving something.
You always need to prove something.
Correct. Yeah, so it's hard to walk away when you always need to prove something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's a zero-sum game, no? You always...
I mean, you try to tell them? But you yourself, like, were you like spiritual or religious at any point?
No, I am the last person in my family
Oh,
that is not spiritual. And I'm going that way, okay?
you're going
not,
that way?
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Oh, you're going oh yeah, bring Ruben.
Not yet.
Do you have any like contemplative practices? I guess we say sabbatical is one of that, being alone and.
I think throughout my work life, I've always had time to be alone. Like when I travel for meetings, how as sickening as they can be, flying to Hong Kong for one night meeting, then flying back the next day. I have those moments where at the airport I'm alone. Then I can listen to music, I can think about things lah. And then I've always felt that I don't need to. I guess when you're younger, when you started out, you want to prove to everybody that you're good at what you do, right? That's what we did. That's why we sent for awards. Then after a while, you go like, okay, I think maybe my ego's very small. Like, enough already. After that, okay, hey, you don't need to be better than anything else. I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
Oh.
Like Muji, the brand, just enough. It's okay, Yeah.
Yeah, and so do you have any, like, I don't know, meditation is like quite big, right?
I tried a 5-day retreat where you can't
5-day retreat
without speaking, no talking.
Vipassana.
Vipassana, yes, I did in Phuket.
I thought it was 10 days. You cut half, like you did.
Yeah, I did 5
level
days. Chicken out, yeah, 5 days.
So you actually signed for 10 when you left at 5?
No, mine was a 5-day.
Oh, okay.
5 days.
How's that?
It was fun when I was there. It took me like 2-3 days to detox. You basically, in order to meditate, you just have to take away all the things, right? So without the phone, without TV, you can meditate. After 3 days, I think I read the book, and of course he was Ajahn Brahm, I think was a really good mentor. He taught us how to meditate, and I really enjoy it. The minute I came back to Singapore, I can't meditate anymore. Too many things, right? When you think of doing, so you need to detox your brain a bit. And
Interesting.
Yeah. So I tried that, but no, I don't meditate regularly.
Right. But then was that trip like good for what you set out to do, or you just want to learn meditation?
I just want to experience. To me, it was, I'm game for anything to experience, right? So it was nice what it was, but I didn't come back and then meditate every day or every week or so.
Yeah, I have this question here about, like, what do most studios owner like missed out for staying so long in the game, and I feel that the answer, I don't put words in your mouth, is like, just like, if you feel burnt out, go on the trip, renew yourself, refine the inspiration, double down on the inspiration, and it's fine if you don't have it now. It would just take a while to come to it, but you do need to go out there and be alone, and
I think so. I think it's important to be alone. I think like what got us into the business in the first place, people forget, right? Why did you become a designer? Because you had joy when you do something and when you create something. But once you become a business owner, you are bogged down by all the other parts of business that suck, right? But you still have to do. So at the end of the day, you still need to feel what keeps you alive, right? If you can do other things, why not?
Yeah, and do you feel that you are genetically like joyful already? Because some designers are quite like.
I'm optimistic, I think.
Genetically lah.
Optimistic. Generally and optimistic.
Yeah. You study a lot about like human nature and all that, right? What would be some insights on human nature that most would disagree upon? Are there any?
People will disagree with me. I don't know. I like to believe that I think people are generally, I believe they are good or not good or evil, but optimistic and pessimist lah.
Okay.
I think if you are optimistic, generally you do not let things weigh you down.
Yeah.
Because you discard, you take in and you discard, so you keep yourself optimistic. And people are pessimistic, you keep adding on. So I feel, one needs the other sometimes, and then to keep it going. Otherwise, you just, get bogged down. And then I feel during COVID, especially, a lot of creative people are very inward looking, because creative, as generally, is you yourself creating something, right?
Yes,
so there were a lot of people in depression. I think during COVID it was bad, and some friends of ours committed suicide. Yeah, so I feel, and we felt that those moments, we could have done more. And we didn't know, right? Because depression, sometimes you really don't know. On the surface, they are fine, but then actually, so when you find out, it's like, oh shit, why didn't you do more? Do more and stuff like that. So, yeah. That's quite sad lah.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think that because you are the optimistic kind, you did COVID well, and they are naturally a pessimistic kind, then they did COVID?
I think so. Actually, I think that played a part lah. And this is really D&A. You can't do anything.
Yeah. And if you would have known then, like, what we have done differently to those friends?
Just hang out more, I guess. Just really, I think at the end of the day, but you want to hang out more and spend more time, and just do stupid things to maybe make the person distract himself. But I know it's difficult if you are going through depression. You need to see professional help, because you can then go back they still. So I think it's important to recognize it, and really seek help.
Yeah, some people, they have it, they don't know that, they just, this is my normal state.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just who I am.
Yeah.
And it's also quite taboo. People don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think it should be more aware these days, especially with COVID, I think.
Yeah.
Mental health.
One of your celebrating 20 years at Design Center, you gave Jane a lot of credit.
Oh, Jane, yeah. I mean, she
what
was
did you learn from her?
she was ground zero, right?
That's true, lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't come to me, I wouldn't have started Asylum. I would just go ahead to New York and do and play and to be a creative there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's really a kind soul. She came to me with no expectations, and she said, "Oh, I see you're talented. I just want to support you and make it work." And so we started that, and true enough, she really just supported me throughout the whole thing. And she's almost like a mother figure to me. So in the end, I mean, the way she responded to how we start our company, in a way, is how I see businesses that I partnership with. Whether is it with Ally or whether is it with somebody. To me, it's like, I want to support you. I know if you want to do this on your own, I will be there. Now I have the financial support. I supported you. So yeah, run it the way you want to run it, and I'm just there to support you. That's how I do it. There are no expectations.
Yeah. I mean, that is rare, lah. You know that, right?
No, I mean, I've worked with them before. They are not strangers in a way, right?
No, true. But I'm saying in the world of partnerships.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how people want partnership. Like for me, it was different because they worked under me before. They want to step up on their own, so I just do this with them. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you learn anything from Jane? That's her being your partner.
No, I just feel that you should, if you trust somebody, let the person do what they do best. I think through Jane, I really learned that, and she's always a super kind soul. Okay,
so I think
incredible.
No, down to the quick fire, the one I sent you.
Okay,
questions.
Come.
Okay, in your books, any great Singapore brand that have lasted, refreshed, and refined? Who are there any, and who?
Singapore brand. I think people can name you a few. SQ. To me, SQ is a great product. Not necessarily a brand. A brand is only because of the product. Actually, if it's anything in the last maybe a few years, Singapore interestingly has rebranded itself well. I don't see any brand, but Singapore as a brand, because 15 years ago, there are people who wanted to work for us. They go like, "Oh, you're based in Singapore, not so interesting." Then maybe up to 5 years ago, like that's why we had designers from Thailand, Copenhagen, everywhere they come, because Singapore is become not so square and boring. So we rebranded. I mean, even though it's quite cheesy that we have the F1, we have all that, and then the Gardens by the Bay, all that nonsense. We have all that, but it somehow has had a positive spin on Singapore. Because people used to compare Hong Kong as exciting, Singapore is really boring. Now it's become quite exciting. So the brand Singapore has, I think, done well. Yeah.
Other than nothing stood out for you.
Okay. Yeah,
But I guess then the next question wouldn't be, as Singapore brand builders or business builders that you respect.
Not really.
Okay. Favorite wine under 50?
No lah, don't waste time.
No.
Under $100 can find.
Okay, under $100. Okay.
It's really difficult these days, right?
I don't want to give you a difficult question or.
$100.
Okay.
Plenty.
Okay, we can name one or two.
Recently, I discovered from Yarra Valley, Timo Meyer.
Timo Meyer.
Fantastic wines for like $70 or $80. It's amazing. Okay, amazing.
Okay. Books you have given the most as gift?
No, when I was young, I don't think I was given a lot of books. My dad bought me a lot of Tintin, which was...
Well, you have given to other people.
Oh, I buy a lot of wine books for people. So
What books?
wine books.
Wine books?
When people say they're interested, okay, I'll give you a wine book.
No, what's the book?
There's so many of them, yeah.
Oh, is there any specific one that come up?
Yeah, the best is the smallest pocket book by Hugh Johnson. It's a wine book, so it's a good book to get into it if you're interested, which is how I got interested into it.
Okay.
But book that I think that has bigger influence would probably be Fountainhead, which which I read not as a student, but only maybe about 10 years ago I read.
Really?
And I thought, wow, every creative should read this book.
Why?
Because it talks about the struggle to be original. You know, every creative person will feel that, you know, the pain of what the establishment is going through, and you know, I mean, it's a great book.
It sounds like the book.
It's a tough book to get into. The first chapter, wow, I think I took like fifth attempt. You know, it's like you know how books.
Yeah.
Eventually, I pierced through, and then it was easy reading after that.
Wow. Did the book sort of give you the ease to sort of let go because you know now the art?
I don't think I don't know. I don't think I referenced myself to the book lah. But I thought it was a great book. Yeah. I don't think I think so deep lah.
Yeah. Underrated local design studio that should be given more credit. That is not one of your
plenty lah.
ex-employee.
Plenty, quite a lot. I think people like Interior, people like Upstairs, people like Produce. I think they all do good, nice work. I think quite a lot. I think I'm sure there's a lot more that I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
And I always see when I do judging, like, wow, who are these people? I always try to find out. Yeah.
Recent purchase under 100 that has most impacted your life?
That had got me thinking. You know, initially it was kind of some stupid gadget that, you know, like some phone gadget. Then I thought there wasn't. And then I realized just a few days ago, I was in Vietnam. And then my friend booked this trip, which cost us $50. And it was a university student that came to pick us on his moped. It's kind of a Vespa. And brought us to like 5-6 places, street food and you know, markets and stuff like that. I think it was the best $50 we ever spent. Because it's like we would never see Vietnam the way we saw if we didn't go to it. It was just okay, we went there like holiday, but that trip took us to amazing. So that he was explaining to us about the settlements where the American soldiers came, and then we ate street food, squat down by the roadside, you know, and incredible. It was quite scary seeing how the motorbikes in Vietnam are like next level, right?
Yeah.
So I was hanging on to my seat, but amazing. I mean, amazing.
Is there Airbnb experience or?
I think he booked through TripAdvisor.
Okay.
I think so.
Maybe we need to get the link or put it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this guy should have more business lah.
Yeah, and they were fun, and they're all students. They do part time. Part time. Yeah.
I guess the worst advice part you already mentioned.
Yeah, no backup plan.
A message to you if you want to send back to when you are.
Oh, to myself when I was much younger.
Yeah, 20.
Save money. Learn how to invest properly. Don't anyhow spend your money. Okay.
Invest where?
Huh?
Invest where?
Anything but wine. Yeah, I bought so much wine and I just go with what I like, right? So property obviously would have been the best investment.
Oh yeah.
You know, when we started Asylum, opposite at Ann Siang, the shop house was going for $1 million. 1 million, they can't buy a HDB in Bishan, okay? It's like, we should have bought that. Then we can retire and no need to think about working so hard anymore.
When the word successful come, you know, I say it, who came into your mind?
Oh, I don't have one person in particular, but people who are at ease, are peaceful people. I met a lot of people who in their 60s and just through my social circle, and you can tell when they are really at peace with who they are, with not need to try too hard. They are happy people. I think this is what I aspire to be lah. Just be happy and at ease with what you do, and then therefore you exude kindness. I think when you don't have so much angst anymore, I don't know, I feel that I was very quick-tempered when I was younger lah.
Yeah.
And to me, it's always been a lifetime goal to be at ease.
What have you done to be less angst?
I think COVID has made me less angst.
Oh?
I really enjoy COVID. So the whole COVID period of isolation, because I felt that before COVID, work is always is an engine in place, right? I travel a lot for work, but I just do from one thing to another. I never really got to smell the roses, so to speak. But through COVID, small things made me very happy. So then I feel that actually I'm reluctant to go back to my past to run here for meeting, go there. I got to see this new thing. It's about chasing things. I think we always chase for there's an exhibition going here. I need to go and see. There's a restaurant opening here. I need to go and try. Chasing stuff. I think now I just stop chasing.
Stop chasing.
Yeah. So when I book a month in Tokyo, before that, 1 year ahead, I would have planned all the restaurants. I'm the kind of super hardcore one. I'll plan which restaurant, which exhibition, and now I just let go. Go to the street, go to the neighbors, you will find something nice there. And something my wife taught me, because when we were going out, she said, you always plan all this. At most, you can match your expectation. You can never exceed. But when you let go, you always exceed, because the expectation is low, right? So wisdom. Now I let go.
And then they exit.
Of course, always exit. You let go, you always exit. You go and choose the best restaurant in the world, you always get disappointed.
So I guess one advice to be less anxious is to do less planning. To let go more. Routines or habits that you find important? Morning, evening?
I used to go running, which I stopped, which is bad. And now, because I got asthma now, but I definitely feel exercise is important. Because it gives you endorphin, it makes you, important.
And now yoga?
No, I don't know. I'm very lazy. I don't do yoga.
You have to find that. Okay.
Yeah.
Common misconception about your work or you?
No, I don't know. There's nothing, I think.
Any past?
I think maybe it's one thing. I think maybe people think that it's easy for me to do a crossover from one discipline to another, but it wasn't intentional. Like I said, people think, how can you do switch from graphic to interior so successfully? But to me, I don't see it as switching from. To me, it was a progression from doing retail and doing branding, and then of course, when I do retail, I want to design the space, right? And so I see it as that rather than switching discipline.
Actually, if I may, I'll give you a separate theory that I can see if it matches yours. I think you didn't plan to switch, but it's also not a progression, but it's more so it comes from the passion part.
Yes.
And so because the passion leads the way, so it doesn't feel like...
Totally right, yeah. For me, passion is number one. For me, it's kind of you can't do it if you have no drive. Passion gives you the drive. And then actually when you have passion, you don't feel that you are working hard towards it, because it's just something you love, right?
Yeah, and you outwork, because it's play, the other people to think it's work, you're playing. And so they can never win you because you're playing games.
In a way, maybe.
Last parting words, ask, request, advice, young studio owners, designers, general young people.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's changed a lot, the whole scene industry. So I don't think I have any wisdom to give. So I just feel it's an exciting new world now. If you're a young designer, you should be glad that there are so many avenues that you can do your thing. So yeah. But having said that, I do not wish to be born in this era as a young designer, because there's too many things. And before that, I find when I was young, there's a formula. It's almost like Matrix. You can set a formula to do great work and therefore achieve. Now there's no formula, right? Now it's everything. You can do whatever you want and you can be successful. But so the blueprint is not so clear, I feel. So it could be exciting if you are optimistic, but otherwise you could be lost. Yeah, totally lost, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can't believe that we actually did 3 hours.